Show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Who needs Nolan Arenado? Who needs the best third baseman in the game? When you get a guy that's homegrown, don't look at me like that. When you get a guy who's homegrown, came right through here, spent, how many seasons in Albuquerque? Could hit 3 home runs in it. I know it would be nice to win the game. But okay. I say that with tongue firmly planted in cheek, but a nice night nonetheless for Ryan McMahon. It's the opening drive. Good day to you. And then happy Wednesday, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. I'm just looking, I'm not looking to rub salt in an old wound. I was trying to help you with some old wound, but I guess even Ryan McMahon hitting 3 home runs, all solo, playing third base last night for the Rockies doesn't help, especially when they lose the game. I'm just looking for something for you, man, because pretty soon this thing's going to be out of control.
Yeah, Ryan McMahon, fantastic night. The Rockies coming up just short, pushing it to extra innings. Sam Hilliard, another player who spent time in Albuquerque, hitting a game-tying home run in the 9th inning. They get it to 13 innings, but a fall 10-8 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Good job, good effort, not enough.
Good job, good effort, not enough. And then you got to sit there and watch Arenado. It's funny watching some of the baseball stuff that I've been watching, and as analysts talk about the Cardinals, Nolan Arenado, and they all say it's just so weird to say that. Yeah, it's weird to hear it. It's weird to accept it. Your team might not be very good. I know they're not your team anymore now.
Oh, I can't totally quit them because I was watching the game last night. I watched most of the games over the weekend, but it's where they are. You know, they went from such a promising core back-to-back playoff appearances a few years ago to an absolute disaster, to where the farm system is a question now in terms of what talent they have. The starting staff just never developed when you're looking at German Marquez, Antonio Sensatella. Jeff Hoffman was supposed to be a guy. He's in Cincinnati now. And it's just at the point the next few years is going to be a little bumpy for the Colorado Rockies.
JJ's adopted club happens to be in the division, the San Diego Super Padres. Their star, Fernando Tatis Jr., who I believe, while he's getting, $300 and however many million dollars, still has not played a full season of Major League Baseball in regards to games played. He's out at least 10 days, shoulder surgery not needed, as a slight labrum tear is the diagnosis after he hurt himself swinging at a breaking ball. Look, I'm watching Bryson DeChambeau swing on the range. I'm thinking that guy's going to break himself too. Fernando Tatis swung at a breaking ball, ripped his labrum. He's out for a while, and I guarantee you they're going to be very, very careful with this.
Yeah, this is something that's super unfortunate for the San Diego Padres because Tatis avoided something major at the moment, but you're going to have to deal with that. Like, that's going to linger all year long. He is going to have surgery at some point in time. And it's one that you wonder how much it affects him, especially defensively. Yeah, it's his left shoulder, so he should be fine throwing the ball. But if he has to make a great play, a dive for a ball, extend himself, what's going to happen? And then especially swinging moving forward with the force that puts on your body.
It's hard to listen or believe A.J. Preller, their general manager, when he talks about it, because they put him out for 10 days. So the diagnosis is out, right? It's a torn labrum or partially torn labrum. Which, okay, you've got there's a tear in there. Quote, it's just being safe, giving the left shoulder inflammation and some of the instability a chance to calm down. Overall, the exam was pretty eventful. Fernando has full range of motion, end quote. Okay. I mean, I'll listen to you, but to your point, there's a lot of things a shortstop and a baseball player does. and he's going to dive for a ball, or he's going to swing at another breaking ball, or he's going to jump for a ball, a line drive over his head, and how's that going to react? And hopefully it's going to react well. It's a torn labrum, and this is probably something that you're dealing with nagging all year for a guy who many have tabbed as the new face of baseball, obviously the face of that franchise. A guy that they went and paid after 137 games. They gave him, $310 million, whatever the number was. To tell me this is not an event, I'm just not eating it. I can't sit here and absorb that you telling me that your star shortstop ripped his labrum, came off looking like that, holding it, 2 trainers out there, couldn't lift his shoulder, but it's a non-event. I mean, I don't want it to be an event. I just can't believe that it isn't.
I'm right there with you. It's going to be tough to see Fernando Tatis if he is affected all year long. Just an absolute bummer. And she said right after signing his mega deal, hasn't played a full season yet. You know he is mentally talented, and he absolutely is on the cusp of being one of those guys in an elite tier in Major League Baseball. And then this happened.
All right, baseball's underway. How much baseball have you watched? I kind of put on taking advantage of the X ratings package or whatever it is DirecTV gives you for the first week of the season. Flipped around games last night. Did catch some of your Padres and the Giants, and just flipping around games and catching the different broadcasts. It is a nice little piece. Have you watched a bunch? Have you gotten into it early? I wonder where fans are in regards to early season baseball coming off of a pandemic year. Because I mean, just where I am, I've watched a little bit. I've enjoyed it. And I forgot what the roar of the crowd sounded like. Like, I'm looking forward to Augusta this week and hearing the fans, but there is a difference. While I enjoyed baseball in empty parks last year, boy, what a difference.
Yeah, I can't say I've noticed a difference with the fans.
I have.
Myself watching the games. But, yeah, you know me. I'm watching whatever it is, whatever sport's going on. I'm all in. PIP going last night. I had some of the Tuesday night games going on. The Golden State Warriors beating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Gotta go there. Yeah.
Entertaining stuff last night.
Yeah, no, I've been into it, and I'll enjoy it. But the fan thing is something that I have noticed, and I convinced myself last year I didn't miss it. I remember we had these conversations. I convinced myself that, well, you know, I don't mind watching the golf tournaments without fans. Now I'm watching it with some fans, and I'm going, what a difference. You know, there were a few moments last year. Remember the playoff between Justin Thomas and Colin Morikawa, whatever that tournament was last year, where they both hit those ridiculously long putts, and we're like, gosh, just think what the galleries would be doing, right? Dustin Johnson wins the Masters, or when DeChambeau at the U.S. Open, and we're going to get that this week. And just some of these plays, I don't know. For me, just hearing the fans is been, I don't know, therapeutic's the right word, but kind of has been for me. Just an ease back to something. So it's been good. I'm just wondering where people are. All right, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do college basketball today at 8:30. Jerry Palm is going to be with us. I know typically he's with us on Thursdays. He's got a conflict on Thursday. So we'll talk with Jerry coming up today at 8:30. Put a wrap on the tournament. Just kind of get his thoughts on how it all went down, what goes forward, some of the coaching hires, whether it be at Texas or Indiana or San Jose State, where we go with all of that. So we'll do that. Jerry Palm of CBS Sports will join us coming up at 8:30 this morning. We're going to get through the NBA stuff. Steph Curry had another big night. You alluded to that. Obviously, there's football stuff, and we've got to have a conversation about Deshaun Watson now that accusers have been out, and there's details of accusations. Certainly, state soccer's underway, so we got a lot of stuff going on locally. You want to do the Masters draft. So did you figure out how you, me, and Aaron are going to play this Masters game?
Yeah, we're just going to pretty much use daily fantasy scoring format.
Yeah.
So make it pretty simple. But best team wins. 5 guys, let's go.
I mean, whatever way it is, we win. Look at he's got his a whole notebook there full of notes or something. Aaron just pulled out look at that. He was studying last night, listening to every expert.
Might have to finally get back to one of them lunch bets. That's a little bit of a thing now.
Okay, we can go to lunch now. All right, Aaron's going to take us to lunch. I'm down. We'll go downtown. That's what
he's going to have to ask Steve Davis for a loan
for the credit card.
Mm-hmm.
for the ProView helicopter
expense.
credit card. Yeah, I know how that works. Can I go to lunch with those guys? Is that okay? 505-246-0610 is how you get to us today. 246-0610. Your emails will come into us. Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. You can find us on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. Great follow. If you're not following it, you should. You're missing out. And on the Facebook, the OD and the AM, that's where you can watch the show. ProView Networks produces our show visually every single morning. You can watch it on ProViewNetworks.com. Aaron's producing for us there. Bobcat, of course, producing on the radio side for an infinite period of time until, I don't know. By the way, Bob, I think Micah did it for over a year, and they never told him he got the job, like it was his job. I think he was still on a temporary basis. So Lord knows how long they're going to do that to you. I'm just
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Nor would it surprise me. All right. When we come back, we're going to get into the football stuff a little bit. The quarterbacks obviously are the talk. More quarterbacks, and then quarterbacks massage therapists were quite the talk yesterday, so we got to get into the Deshaun Watson stuff. Hey, who's protecting your home or your business? International Protective Service, IPS, protects my home, and it makes us feel more secure. We see them every single day outside the house coming by, and I know you see their vehicles around town. If I go out of town, I call IPS. IPS asks, do you want us to pick up your mail? Do you have any newspapers? Is garbage day? Should we roll the garbage cans up and back to the curb? They do exterior searches. They give the home a lived-in look and make sure it's protected. There's a chance you signed up for a local armed response, and then you found out that you were selected. Then there's a buyout. Now you're on the brink of another merger with a huge national company. It's not what you signed up for, and that's not what you want. It's not what you have to have. IPS is a local company. They are invested in Albuquerque, and they are committed to your home and business security with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. It is IPS. Call them, protect what is yours. Don't wait until something bad happens. It's too late then. Call now. Talk to IPS. There's no contracts, no long-term commitments. I think you're going to love this service. I certainly do. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. Or visit them at ipsglobal.com.
Wide open, Jaden Phillips. Oh, he shattered him like dirty laundry into a hamper.
That was a Derrick Henry style stiff arm.
Motion, there's Winnikoff. Lane, it looks like Winnikoff's wide open over here, but he's threatened on the play. That was Jaden Brown, and he's going to have to just chuck this one up, and that's a touchdown! Wow! I can't believe he was in position for that play.
So, things are looking good. They'll want to avoid Webskowski on the kick, but it gets to the 10. Or I beg your pardon. Now across the 50. That's going to be an opening house call. He's going all the way, and he's going to go untouched. 90 yards for Lujan, and that is a nightmare start for Clovis.
That young.
Nice serve by Moore. Wow. Outstanding work. Middle blocker, Haley Areola.
Gomez again, the motion man. This one instead handed off. And right through the gut, there's a bunch of space. Nice little hop there. Atrisco fans are on their feet, and for good reason, as that's a 41-yard touchdown. Jaden Cowley.
And 11 for the Tigers.
Sherman will roll to his right. Throws on the down and out. Caught. Trying to go for the goal line. Leads it in. Touchdown. What a play.
Jaguars, the snap handed off to Cowley. The big man sweeps aside one, cutting back inside. He turns around the other direction. He's heading this way, and he's got to just beat one more, and he does. Touchdown.
Cover a ball. Barella in the serve. There's a dig. Boom, the kill shot. Number 6. I tell you what, man, Morgan Torres on the kill shot. 7 seconds left. People are stunned. There's just so much scoring on this game. Will the Hawks be able to respond with the big play? There's a fake on the right side. He's got an open field. Oh my gosh, and just like that, holy cow, amazing. Just like that, the Hawks score. Number 2, Caden Valdez on the right side.
Been really the hottest name. It wasn't the quarterbacks on the draft board. It wasn't even Trevor Lawrence or Mac Jones or Zach Wilson or Justin Fields or wherever you want to go. It was Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun had made it pretty clear he wants out of Houston. And now it might be clear the people of Houston, or at least some of the people in Houston, want him out of there, but they want his money first. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. We haven't talked a lot about this because, J.J., when the allegations came out against Deshaun Watson, there were 1, then there were 2, then there were a few. Now there's north of 20. And I told you that I feel that if they're true, it's really disturbing, and if they're not true, that it's really disturbing. 2 massage therapists came out yesterday in quite a bit of detail describing what they are alleging against the Houston Texans quarterback. And very, very emotional women. The first one, Ashley Solis, said that, quote, "I got into massage therapy to heal people, to heal their minds and bodies, to bring peace to their souls. Deshaun Watson has robbed me of that. He took that away from me." End quote. One of the women said, my father's a big Texans fan, and now he can't stand them anymore, and it just the whole thing. I'm not telling you that this is been tried. I mean, obviously trying it in the court of public opinion is a tactic. Putting these women out in front of the media is to gain public sympathy and to tell their story in some way. This will be tried. I would assume if it gets there before a settlement, be tried in court, although they may be settled. But JJ, at this point, I think when you hear these allegations, when these women are coming forward, there's 20-something of them. I think it's pretty fair to assume that whether or not he's going to be found guilty of these, Deshaun Watson is going to be somehow disciplined by the National Football League. And boy, I don't know that there's fire, but there's a lot of smoke.
This is one where it feels like this is a classic case for the exempt list in the NFL, but to put Deshaun Watson currently on the commissioner's exempt list, because there's so much uncertainty around this. Now you have 2 alleged victims putting their name on this story, which, by the way, isn't easy for them.
Right.
So it's, everyone could sit there before and just, it's a money grab. Why are we listening to a bunch of anonymous people? Well, it's not anonymous anymore. And for the Houston Texans, for the NFL, you do have to take this seriously. Deshaun Watson cannot be a part of trade talks right now. Like, that can't be the focus of it. I think you put him on the commissioner's exempt list, and you see how this plays out. And this is just where we are right now on the football side, because now you have to let this play out on the legal side.
Yeah, to your point, alleged victims coming forward is never easy, and to say it's never easy probably isn't 100% correct, because I think we've seen cases where they were alleged but not proven to not be real victims. If they're victims, it's not easy coming forward. This is so sensitive on either side, because to wrongly accuse a man of this. Like Deshaun's reputation, it's going to be hard to ever get that back, right? Whether he is found to be not guilty of this or not. It's going to take a long time. Michael Vick's reputation has somewhat come back. He's on television, and you can rehab. But this is pretty serious stuff, and there's a lot of it, JJ. I mean, the more women that come forward, it gets more concerning, and then you start hearing details in their complaints. Now, Watson's law firm put out a statement that said the law firm representing the women sought, quote, $100,000 in hush money on behalf of Ms. Solis to quietly settle the allegations the month before she filed the lawsuit, end quote. Evidently, in this statement, there was an email exchange between the law firms, the lawyers. Quote, my email exchanges with these people were very clear. We did not think the facts showed that Deshaun did anything wrong with their client. We believed then and fully believe now that Deshaun learned a lesson about putting himself in this type of situation by interacting with people he does not know. It says, continues, as the emails show, we were willing to continue discussions on Deshaun's behalf to explore ways to prevent lawsuit and a public spectacle, but Mr. Busby, that's the attorney, informed us that he was unwilling to do so. We expect that this matter will be resolved in court, end quote. All right, I'll read to the NFL statement on this. So I got to hit that. Deshaun and his attorneys continue to maintain that he did nothing wrong, that in fact what he did wrong was put himself in situations with a number of therapists with whom he was not familiar, and have somehow all come to the same, they're all just piling on this money grab. They have all found this same lawyer, and oh nope, he did it to me too. Oh, he did it to me too. That's what they're saying. Look, it could be true, but there's a lot of women now that have jumped on this train.
Yeah, and that's why if you're sitting here going, oh, what the heck do? You have to let it play out. Like, that's all you can do at this moment in time. He's not going anywhere via trade. The football stuff is secondary at this moment in time until this situation is figured out.
All right, the league has launched their own investigation. The National Football League has. Brian McCarthy with the National Football League, quote yesterday, the allegations against Deshaun Watson are deeply disturbing. We take these issues very seriously. The NFL is continuing to closely monitor all developments of the matter, end quote. I mean, that's just as just standard, non-committal, blank as a statement can be. This is the women describing their trauma. One of the women said, quote, I'm coming forward now on behalf of on the advice of her therapist, she said, to quote, forgive myself for not speaking up sooner, and also so that you can know without excuse or justification that you have deeply and irreversibly brought terror to me and others. She continued, I initially came forward to offer solidarity to other women, but I have since realized that I'm deserving of justice as well. I hope the court of law brings that justice and you're stripped of both your power and your ability to hurt more women. 18 more women came forward last week. Look, I don't know how many massage therapists there are in that town. Obviously, there's many. The odd part of this whole thing always, to me, has been that if Deshaun or any other professional athlete was getting treatment, look, I get massage treatment, okay, and I've heard people say, well, anytime they're getting your glutes, that's kind of odd, isn't it? Well, not. It's not. You have lower back issues that tie to your glutes, but that doesn't mean you're sexually exploiting someone. So I just, massage is being a massage therapist is an intimate business, right? But that doesn't. But there certainly is a line. I just always found it odd that a professional athlete of his stature, of his level, did not have one or two or three go-to therapists that he knew, that he trusted, that knew his body, that he knew their techniques. That was always the disconnect on this thing to me.
Yeah, and then just the amount. Like, so is this really just some gigantic scheme in Houston for all the massage therapists that are jumping on it, or what is, the reason he had so many different massage therapists?
Right. I mean, there would have to be, before a therapist would jump on this lawsuit, she would have to be able to prove that they had a professional relationship, that he came to see her and that she performed a massage on him, right? I mean, you'd have to be able to prove. You can't just jump on with not knowing the guy, can you? I mean, I guess you can. You can do anything you want, but it's not going to go anywhere. This lawyer couldn't take that. He'd have to have proof that whether it was a transaction, a Venmo transaction, a check, however people are paying, however he's making the payment. Maybe he paid straight cash, homie. I don't know. But, I mean, they'd have to have some, right? I like there's part of me where I don't want to assume anything. The thing that you almost have to assume is that he actually did have a professional relationship with these women.
Yeah, because it seemed like that if you're using a business model or you're keeping track of your clients, then you something that could be proven or not proven.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we assume that, isn't that something that's just kind of a little bit of an odd flag to you? That why? I mean, dude, you're an NFL quarterback. We hear about how pro athletes they know everything they put in their body, anything that touches their body. The fact that he's going to 20-something different massage therapists, I don't know. Does that feel weird to you, or wouldn't you think you've got 1, 2, 3 go-to people that if one's not available, you go to 2 or 3, and this is your body, this is your temple, this is your craft.
Yeah.
That's where it's a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and be judged because I don't know the facts. I just know what I heard yesterday. But it's concerning. The NFL's in on it, and obviously all that Deshaun Watson talk is quieted, and this isn't done. This one obviously is going to play out quite a bit. All right, 505-246-0610. I got other quarterback talk. Where's Teddy Bridgewater going to land? Justin Fields, for whatever reason, feels like he's slipping. And there's a team sitting right at 9, right? They go, slip to us, maybe. I mean, does he slip that far? The draft is going to be really, really interesting now with all the quarterback move. We're going to get into that, 505-246-0610. You can watch the draft without lenses. That's what I'm going to do. I got LASIK back in 2003. Dr. Stephen Coleman performed it because I had a high degree of astigmatism. Now I don't need lenses. Have it since then. Don't plan on it for a long time. Dr. Stephen Coleman is the best. Coleman Vision is where you need to go if you are considering LASIK surgery. You're tired of lenses, tired of wearing glasses. You're getting fogged up because you wear your mask all the time, or you don't want to put in contacts anymore and deal with the solution. Go see Coleman Vision. Go see Dr. Stephen Coleman, and you'll understand why I tell you they have become family to me, and they changed my life. Dr. Coleman uses the cutting-edge technology in which he has played a significant role in developing, in testing. It's the current best in the world, originated at Sandia Labs here in New Mexico. Dr. Coleman is in on all of that, and that's why patients come from all over the country and have for years to get their LASIK done at Coleman Vision. They know Dr. Stephen Coleman is at the top of his field, and he is the best. Give them a call if you think you are a candidate for LASIK. Area code 505-821-8880. That's 821-8880. Or visit them online, colemanvision.com. Seeing is believing, and I sure as heck believe.
Remember on the punter. We'll pop this up. The man to receive it is also wearing number 3, Isaiah Garcia. He does catch it off the hop. Nice move by him. He's got some room out there on the right-hand side. He's got to get around his opposite number. He does. Gets one block in. He gets around the last guy. Can he get in? And there's the first points for the Manzano Monarchs. Isaiah Garcia all the way here from his own 45.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players. Are you looking to develop?
You have none. What's your personnel look like? 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
And then it's musical chairs for quarterbacks. Where are they all going to end up? And it's not done yet. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Masters this week, and then kind of turn your attention to the draft if you haven't already. And I think every television network, that's all they're talking about is draft, and they have for probably 3 weeks. The draft is coming up at a National Football League draft at the end of the month. And quarterbacks are everywhere at the top of the board. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. J.J., I guess I don't know what the next domino is. Sam Darnold moved 2 days ago, which puts Teddy Bridgewater on the teeter. Where does he go? Or is it Jim Garoppolo? Or is it? I mean, is Deshaun Watson even in the conversation anymore? And I think you'll probably see a lot of movement on draft day too.
Yes, that's where never say never. But I think in terms of impactful movement regarding first or second round picks, that's done. Because Deshaun Watson, that situation is not getting solved by draft night. The other ones, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, the uneasy superstar quarterbacks are not being traded by their franchise. So, Aaron can have fun doing Jeopardy, trying to figure all that stuff out, and his comments about, oh, it's not on me, it's on them. No, it's all about you, Aaron. You ultimately can decide whether you want to be there or not as well. And with the San Francisco 49ers, I guess if someone offers them compensation, I think they'll hold out for a first-round pick. Might end up being a second-round pick, but it does sound like they're okay if they go into the season with Jim Garoppolo and whoever they take at 3, they make a decision after that. And then because at number 4, too, it looks like Atlanta is realizing, hey, Matt Ryan, a couple more years, why the heck not? And we'll trade back if there is a run for Justin Fields, if he is indeed not one of the top 3 quarterbacks selected. And so in terms of marquee veteran quarterback moves, we're done.
Well, the Matt Ryan thing's really interesting. I think you're right on where Atlanta is. I think they're realizing, we could do this for a couple more years. If they don't love what's going to be sitting there at 4, they don't have to settle. They can get a year or 2 or 3 and then play this game in whatever year they're ready to play it, or I mean, there's so many quarterbacks right now. You can make a decision. Who do you like? And target whoever it is you want at this point, whether it's Jim Garoppolo, whoever's going to be on the market next year. And I think the haul that they believe they might be able to get for their fourth pick for somebody who is quarterback desperate might be worth more than what they would get. So I think you're right there. The Garoppolo one is the one that might go, and the only place that seems like it makes sense to me is going back to New England. But I don't know that New England's going to pay what San Francisco, at least at this point. And this is kind of your point on the Jets the other day. Why did they make the move now? They could have made the move draft day or later. The Garoppolo to New England, unless New England jumps up and gets whoever it is they want. Word is Belichick likes Mac Jones. It sounds like Mac Jones is going to be gone. I don't think he's going to be available even if they jump up to 4. And I don't know that he's going to be willing to pay that. So that's the only one. And then there's the Teddy Bridgewater piece where, I don't know, I mean, he just ends up being a backup somewhere. It's going to be like Mitchell Trubisky. He's going to sign somewhere and be a really good backup.
I don't even think Teddy Bridgewater is leaving Carolina. It's not like the quarterback salary for the next year or two combined is not that bad between Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold. So, and I don't think there's a market for Teddy Bridgewater right now to take on the remaining 2 years of his contract just because they got
That's
Sam
probably
Darnold.
right.
So I look at it and I don't think there's necessarily a marquee quarterback move. And I'm very cold on Jimmy Garoppolo going to New England just because that's where he started. You know, it's one you look at and say they have plenty of opportunities to make that move if they wanted him back, and they haven't. You know, they've gone cheaper at least last year because they didn't have any money. They re-signed Cam Newton, and it doesn't feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is ever in their plans again.
Well, I don't know that they're willing to spend what San Francisco wants them to spend. And to your point, then, even when they spend to get him, then they got to spend to pay him because his contract is pretty big. I think that I agree with you to the point where I don't know that they think he's worth what he's being paid. Is that where you're going with that?
Yeah, there's the contract and the fact that if you've liked him so much, you had this opportunity. Like, he's wildly available once they moved to 3. He's not going to get a first-round pick out of it. I don't think there's a bidding war for Jimmy Garoppolo. So this could be one of those situations where you're just sitting on it and letting it play out. What happens?
Like they did with Cam last year.
Yeah, are they even going to go quarterback in the first round? Is it just still an area where they're kind of stuck in that purgatory because unless they move up for Justin Fields, they're in a Trey Lance conversation. Now, is Trey Lance would be fascinating, letting him sit a year behind Cam Newton. That seems like a scenario that would really work out because I think Trey Lance is Justin Fields light at this moment in time in terms of just the athleticism and everything that he can do. Just didn't do it on the biggest stage and has only played 17 games because he had that one feature game last fall when they didn't play an FCS season until the spring, and of course he opted out of that.
Do you think they go win with Cam Newton and whatever? Is Jarrett Stidham even still on that roster? I mean, I know he's not in consideration as their main guy, but they're doing something beyond Cam Newton, aren't they? And they did Cam Newton so late last year.
Is not unseating Cam Newton as their starting quarterback. Like Jarrett Stidham, Teddy Bridgewater. Like, I think Cam Newton is on his last leg in the league, but with what's out there, they're not bringing in someone that's going to be better than Cam Newton with what's available.
If they make a late move for Garoppolo, and I think I agree with you on they're leaning against it because if they were going to, they might have. I look at how late they waited on the Cam thing last year, and they got him for nickels. Now, granted, Garoppolo's got the contract that pays him, but I think maybe the price to get him is going to go down as you get closer to the season. If they bring in Jim Garoppolo, that's to compete, right?
Yeah. If you bring in Jim Garoppolo, you're pretty much saying, like, this dude's going to be our starting quarterback because you're not bringing in that guy that still has a decent chunk of money to be your backup quarterback. And that's why I just don't buy it anymore. I get it. He started in New England. But I just don't think that's something that's going to happen again.
Russell Wilson's not moving, is he?
No.
I don't think so either. Aaron Rodgers is not this year. I still firmly believe he will end his career somewhere else, but I don't believe he's moving this year. And there's no reason for him to leave or Green Bay to move him. There's
Did
just
you
none.
see his debut on Jeopardy?
I did not. Everybody else did.
In Final Jeopardy, the first contestant did not know the answer to the question. And they put up on the screen what you wrote down. And so the first contestant wrote down, whose decision was it to kick the field goal? And Rodgers, he did a nice little chuckle, and he's like, I would like to know that answer as well.
It's good. What do you think of him? I'd like to watch him. I did not see Jeopardy last night, no. Was it good?
That moment was fantastic. And this is the thing with Aaron Rodgers is he's dancing around. The dude is still ridiculously talented, still elite quarterback, and I can't quite figure out why it feels so uneasy between him and the Green Bay Packers.
Well, how was he on Jeopardy?
He's good.
Yeah.
Very
I'd like to see him. I mean, he's funny. He's funny. There's that dry, cocky, calm sense of humor to him that's I think is pretty funny. I'd like to see that. I don't. Explain to me the thing with the Packers. Maybe I'm not listening enough. Maybe I don't know that there's enough. Yeah, they drafted Jordan Love last year. He was pissed. He went on a scorched earth tour, became the MVP. Just like and I told you going into the season, one of the few calls I got right was he was going on a scorched earth tour and he was going to have a great year. And everybody, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a bad year. No, he's not. This is going to be the quiet assassin going nuts. And I think he's still going to have that same type of season, maybe a notch below. He's there as long as he wants to be there. I firmly believe that. But I don't know how much longer he wants to be there. They may have a mutual parting after this year. And he may do a Brady kind of a thing. What if Tommy, let me paint you this scenario. Tommy has a 2-year deal, right? This coming year would be his second year. What if Tommy, this is it, right? I don't know if it is or not, but what if he plays 2 more, he's done. Aaron Rodgers goes down there and takes his spot. In that, no, I mean, hear me on this. Tell me it's ridiculous.
Tampa Bay retirement home. If you keep that squad together in the next couple of years, Mike Evans, Godwin,
right?
Bruce Arians, it's entirely possible.
I mean, tell me why that makes no sense. It could be the Tampa Bay retirement home. Tommy goes out on top, and here comes A-Rod. And he goes down there and says, yeah, I'm done freezing my butt off up here. Jordan Love, you want to go? Knock yourself out, young man. I'm going down to Florida and retiring and going to win a Super Bowl. 505-246-06. I know you like that scenario. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Welcome back to
Calling all football players. Are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
So, I mean, this isn't a horrible model for a while. Teams are always getting better. Let's get younger. Let's go through the draft. Let's find the next quarterback. What the hell, man? Tampa Bay could just become the place you go and chase a ring at the end. So Tom Brady's got one more year left on his deal. He's, 43, 106? How old is he? You want to play till 45. He may want to play one more year just to get to that number. But this is the second year. I think he's going to be 44 when it's done, right? Then he's done. Aaron Rodgers goes down there for a couple of years. After that, you figure Matt Ryan might be ready and say, hey, I'm going to go. I haven't won a ring in Atlanta. So Rodgers is done. Matt Ryan comes down. Maybe Matthew Stafford's next in line for that. And just end of the year. And that's their progression. They don't need young. Who needs young quarterbacks? When you can bring in these good veterans, just say, come on down to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers retirement home and chase a ring.
You could be onto something. The next change in the NFL landscape where it's the veteran quarterback who you get to take a little bit less on his contracts, who you're signing for maybe only $25 million a year. And how about
a lot
that?
Of money.
Forcing Tom Brady out of Tampa Bay. Be like, you know what, Tom? Thank you so much for that Super Bowl, but guess what? It's time for us to get Aaron Rodgers.
We got the
Peace
Jeopardy
out.
guy. Yeah. What is I'm chasing a ring? Yeah. Tom Brady out and Aaron Rodgers in. What is I'm chasing a ring? Yeah. Tommy, what do you think? Good morning, Tommy.
Hey, guys. Good morning, Tom. And the truth back at you. And you have to remember when Brett Favre left Green Bay, he had his best season in 10 years when they shipped him out. You know, I was starting to wonder if that's the Green Bay philosophy when these guys get to a certain age and they just feel like, you know, they got to start looking for their replacement. I really don't know what they're thinking. I still think they should have drafted some help for Aaron Rodgers. But the thing I wanted to ask you guys about with your teams, are there any free agents out there that you're looking at for your teams personally or in the draft coming up? I know I talked last week about Cowboy defense. They have done well signing their linemen and linebackers, but as far as corners and safeties, since 2012, the fiasco they went through with Carr and Claiborne, they haven't wanted to pay their free safeties and agents or safeties any money. They let them go. And I hope we get Patrick Surtain II. That's who I want from Alabama to go with his buddy Diggs they drafted last year so they can have those bookend safeties, and I think he's a major talent, and I think he'll be there at 10. So is there guys out there that you want for your teams personally, free agents, if there's anybody left out there, or
Denver might
you want your team to draft and go for it?
I've seen a lot of drafts where Surtain goes 9 to Denver, right in front of the Cowboys. Have you seen that, JJ?
Yeah, both those teams would be in the market at that point in time for the top cornerback in the draft.
But Jerry Jones, unfortunately, likes to go for these superstars. I don't even think we needed Lamb. I think we had the receivers with Gallup and Cooper that we didn't need to draft Lamb, but he saw the stars and he said, oh, we got an offensive threat. And it's getting him convinced you need to draft a corner or safety, but he don't want to do it since 2012. And Carr and Claiborne fiasco that year, Carr coming from Kansas City and going up to get Claiborne. And ever since then, he just doesn't put a lot of emphasis on corner and safeties and paying them their money and going after them in the draft, and I can't stand it. You really need to get that guy.
Well, and that's where you need the help is on defense. All right, we'll talk about that. Tommy, thanks for the call. So is there anybody, JJ, because for the Rams, they have no draft equity. I mean, their big free agent signing was Deshaun Jackson, where I'm going, what? But
He'll catch a 175-yard touchdown pass.
He's going to have one good game in the first 2 weeks. Yeah, in the first 2 weeks, he's going to.
That's what you get out of Deshaun Jackson.
I just don't get it. And then some whack tweet or something. They have no draft capital. So whatever they're going to do is going to have to be free agent wise. So look at the Broncos. Let's say there's 9 and 4 quarterbacks are gone, and whether that goes in the order of Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and then which one left between Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance would be enticing enough for you to say, if he's still there at 9, the Broncos should take him?
Justin Fields. If Justin Fields slips, he's the steal of this draft. There's no reason Justin Fields shouldn't be a top 3 quarterback taking. I'm taking Justin Fields all day, every day over Mac Jones.
What if it's Trey Lance?
I'm staying with you, Lock. That's the one where I'm pushing it back a little bit. I don't think that's the one that you need to jump on too early. That's just getting out there because you feel desperate to grab a quarterback.
And that would be the scenario where Trey Lance slips to 14 to get to the Patriots, right? Where if Trey Lance – and it makes sense that he would be the one that slips because you haven't seen a lot of him at this level. He's the biggest risk, right, of the 5 quarterbacks?
Yeah, just I don't, because all of them, obviously, there's some risk. It's, I guess, the one that the least amount of film on. This would be Trey Lance, but ultimately, like, do you think he has the talent? Like, if you evaluate his skill set, I think he absolutely fits as a top-end guy in this class. But one I'm not necessarily jumping for. It's like I'll wait and take my value if he falls to me.
Because in reality, he might be the steal of the draft. I mean, when it's all said and done, because I know so little about him, I think you do. I don't know how much you've seen, but obviously these scouts have dissected him in his underwear down to his everything. I don't know. Where are you in the draft? Which quarterback at 9 would the Broncos take, and should they not? Masters draft coming up. Jerry Palm at 8:30. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Wide open, Jaden Phillips. Oh, he shattered him like dirty laundry into a hamper.
That was a Derrick Henry style stiff arm.
Motion, there's Winnikoff. Lane, it looks like Winnikoff's wide open over here, but he's threatened on the play. That was Jaden Brown, and he's going to have to just chuck this one up, and that's a touchdown! Wow! I can't believe he was in position for that play.
So, things are looking good. They'll want to avoid Webskowski on the kick, but it gets to the 10. Or I beg your pardon. Now across the 50. That's going to be an opening house call. He's going all the way, and he's going to go untouched. 90 yards for Lujan, and that is a nightmare start for Clovis.
Nice serve by Moore. Wow. Outstanding work. The middle blocker, Haley Areola.
Gomez again, the motion man. This one instead handed off. And right through the gut, there's a bunch of space. Nice little hop there. Atrisco fans are on their feet, and for good reason, as that's a 41-yard touchdown. Jaden Cowley.
And 11 for the Tigers. Sherman will roll to his right. Throws on the down and out. Caught. Trying to go for the goal line. Leads it in, touchdown. What a play.
Jaguars, the snap handed off to Cowley. The big man sweeps aside one, cutting back inside. He turns around the other direction. He's heading this way, and he's got to just beat one more, and he does. Touchdown.
Serve. There's the dig. Boom, the kill shot. Number 6. I tell you what, man, Morgan Torres on the kill shot. 7 seconds left. People are stunned. There's just so much scoring on this game. Will the Hawks be able to respond with the big play? There's a fake on the right side. He's got an open field. Oh my gosh, and just like that, holy cow, amazing. Just like that, the Hawks score. Number 2, Caden Valdez on the right side.
Remember on the punter. They'll pop this up. The man to receive it is also wearing number 3, Isaiah Garcia. He does catch it off the hop. Nice move by him. He's got some room out there on the right-hand side. He's got to get around his opposite number. He does. Gets one block in. He gets around the last guy. Can he get in? And there's the first points for the Monzano Monarchs. Isaiah Garcia all the way here from his own 45.
Don't.
JJ Bond.
Well, the Deshaun Watson story, of which we have spoken quite a bit this morning, has taken a little bit of an advancement this morning. About a half hour ago, Nike released that it has suspended its endorsement deal with Deshaun Watson amid the sexual assault and inappropriate behavior allegations made against him. That was first reported, I believe, on CNBC. Quote, this is from Nike in their statement. We are deeply concerned by the disturbing allegations and have suspended Deshaun Watson. We will continue to closely monitor the situation, end quote. So that came out about a half hour ago. Nike has suspended their deal with Deshaun Watson. JJ, the Houston police have an open investigation on this. 22 women, as we spoke of earlier, have filed lawsuits. 2 spoke publicly yesterday. This is getting heavier and heavier on Deshaun, and now Nike has pulled, or at least suspended. They haven't pulled it. They have suspended their endorsement with Deshaun Watson.
You have to. It's the right business decision because you can, guess what? Restart the deal when things are settled if it comes to it right now. But the last thing you want to be doing is have that on your books right now. Deshaun Watson, everything that he's going through.
All right, you can respond. 246-0610 is how to get to us. 888-922-0610. Your emails come in this morning, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Deutsch says, how many legit massage therapists are there, Jeffy? If this is true, surely the Houston Oilers were paying for them. Didn't raise a red flag in the business office when they received invoices from dozens of them? I don't think that's right. I think that they've got their staff to whom the athletes can go get treatment. And then the way this plays out, man, is you got your person, right? You've got the staff, and then you've got the people that you go to in your camp. You've got a massage therapist, you've got a trainer, you've got your nutritionist, whatever it is you have as an individual. And I don't believe that, part of you're getting paid millions. You're not, if you have a nutritionist, that's on your dime. You're not billing the Houston Texans for your nutritionist. You're not billing the Houston Texans for your massage therapists, or PIS plural. So this never went to the Houston Texans. I see what he's trying to do here, but that's not how it works. This one's going to be on Deshaun.
Yeah, the Houston Texans have their employees, which they pay, and then your $100+ million quarterback covers things outside of the building. Yes.
Yeah, he makes a lot of money, man. That's where, when you see these entourages, when Patrick Ewing says, yeah, we make a lot of money, but we spend a lot of money, that's the teams. You hear athletes tell you about their teams. So often you hear, in the individual sports, in golf and tennis, about our team, about my nutritionist and my trainer and my coach and my swing coach and my chauffeur and my manager. That's, when you go through, guy makes, $45, $55 million a year. You start looking at the payroll, the nutritionist making a lot of money, the agents making a lot, so that's where this isn't on the Texans. As much as you might want to spin it that way, if there's something here, it's not on the Texans. Glenn says, hungry Bobcat, Jeff. I think the one thing that's keeping Bobcat from verbally committing to the OD is food. Bobcat likes to grub, and he's well-fed in the house. This award-winning show needs to bump up the sustenance budget. It's from Glenn. It might be true. See, but Bob, the issue there is we're not permitted it's really weird, too. We're not allowed in. I don't even know. We're told to do the show from home. We're not allowed in. Strauss is, maybe he's obviously he's much bigger of a dog than we are. At KKOB, we know we're just the red-headed, yellow-bellied stepchild when it comes to KKOB. But so the sustenance budget is a little tougher to get you fed every morning, Bob.
That's not a problem. It's and I have told them that I would fill it as long as they need me.
All right, you need to get fed?
No, I'm good.
No, it's kind of nice.
He's got freezer lasagna, Jeff.
Yeah, I actually do. Yeah. And some enchilada casserole.
Enchilada casserole. Explain that. That kind of sounds tasty.
fried tortilla with an enchilada ground beef type sauce and cheese.
Yeah.
Stick it in the oven and yummy.
You make what do you make? Eight pans of that at a time? Oh, guac on top?
Yeah. Well, on the side, and then some warmed tortilla chips.
Oh, damn. So you make, how many pans of that do you make at a time?
I think the last time I made about 8. Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good.
That's meal prep. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and then I just pop it in the oven for a half hour, and dinner's
Smart
done.
man.
Dinner's ready. See, I don't cook. Addie was at her mom's the other night, and I literally went through, and I'm like, I got nothing. I mean, I am so, like, you look at there's a big old pizza, but I'm not even eating pizza from the night before that she had. My fridge and pantry is so bachelor right now. Like, it is just, you look at it and think I'm a college kid. And so I was going through, and I found an old filet frozen in there, and I have no idea how long it was there, but I'm like, So I did. I wish I had pans of enchilada casserole, but I 10 minutes in the defrost, fired it on the grill, Worcestershire salt, pepper, garlic salt, fired it on the grill, found some, I had some cream spinach and a salad. Actually, I grubbed that night. I turned nothing into something.
I'll give you a hint. Online smoked salt.
Smoked salt?
Yeah.
As a seasoning?
Yeah, in place of regular salt, use smoked salt when you're grilling or something. Or on
Interesting.
Tomato, or on fresh tomato. It's yummy.
How do you even smoke salt?
Well, you can buy it online.
Yeah.
Different flavors. Or you can make it yourself. There's recipes online. It's basically you just put it in a smoke. You pour salt in the
smoke
pan
the
and
salt.
smoke it.
And smoke it.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, no, I shall. That's pretty good, actually. All right. Yeah, I was actually fairly impressed with me, because normally that would have been find something frozen and pop it in the microwave and just choke it down and call it dinner and then just be miserable. But I'm like, damn, what do I got in here? I got to have something. And there was a fillet. I don't know how long it was been there, but didn't have freezer burn to it.
That is definitely the next hit cooking show. What do I got in here?
Yeah, what do I got in here?
You can make the best meal. No, you don't get a supermarket to run through to grab all your stuff. You get Jeff's Pantry.
Ooh.
Go.
Oof. Oof. Expired. Thanks, Aunt Flo, or what's her name? Aunt Joni. What's her name? That's actually a great commercial. That house with the ants. Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes I don't go through my like a lot of the dressings and bottle stuff in there. Expired. There tends to be a bit of that too. Actually, I got a story for you. You'll hit this. It's not really sports related, but it's house related. We had Toy Story Day at my house the other day, and so Addie said to me, Dad, she hit me the other day. On Saturday night, she wanted to have a bunch of friends over. She scouted a spot up here in the foothills, and she wanted to go up with a bunch of friends and go watch the sunset and hang out with her friends. I said no. She kind of looked at me. I said, this place is a damn pigsty. I said, you've been going, we went through your closet, we got all this stuff out, you've been going through that corner. We're not having people over here like that. It's like, okay, well, we'll clean it up. So Saturday morning, before the scrimmage, or before the Cherry Silver game, we loaded up the Mountaineer. So the Mountaineer, the spare vehicle we have is loaded. I got to take stuff to I went to find a shelter for, that these toys will be enjoyed by kids. But literally, dude, it was, she's going to be 15 next month, which is crazy. But we're going through her toys from ages basically 2 till 13, and watching her go through it and sort stuff. And there was a little pile she kept that she couldn't get rid of. And then I'm bagging stuff up. And then I said, there's too much stuff in this bag. So took the Barbie out of the xylophone. I'm like, no, Xylo, wait, Barbie, I will find you. What if we go to a different place? Doesn't Addie love us anymore? Have you ever seen Toy Story? It was, yep. And her little face was just, you could see her almost tearing up over some of this stuff because, what about Xylophone? Oh, that Barbie. Oh, I love those little pony things and those little dolls and this game. And yeah, but we got all that crap out of here. That was the motivation to get it going. And I call it Toy Story Day because, that was like the whole first 12, 13 years of her life now is going
in the car.
They're in the car, and they're all going, where are we going to go? Do you think anybody will play with us? Doesn't Addie love us anymore? So
100% Toy Story 4. Peace Out Toys.
Yeah, dude. I'll just tell you, it's amazing. Like the front, the front of the house. You know that when you come in my house, that front corner, that front living room. It was all her stuff, bookshelves and junk and crap and piles. And I'm like, nope, can't have friends over. And did it. So she had friends over, and they went up, and I got pizza and salad. The kids hung out in the backyard, and actually they chilled, and they had a great time. So there's your motivation to get your kid to clean the room or get that crap out. Was have a Toy Story day. All right, we'll get into sports. Jerry Palm is going to be with us coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll wrap up the tournament with him. He, of course, of CBSSports.com.
Speaking of motivation, I have been looking for that for the last year when it comes to my fitness, and I found it at F45. F45 training is high-intensity circuit training in 45-minute classes. New classes every week to keep your mind and body moving forward. This Friday, it's quarterback. What is quarterback? Well, it's an agility, resistance, and power-based cardio movement workout in 45 minutes. And what I love about this is you can complement your traditional weight training, or especially for me, I'm just not into being on a treadmill for an hour. I'm not a cyclist, but this gets you strength and cardio at the same time doing high intensity circuit training. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. You can sign up for a 7-day free trial on the app. Take a look at the schedule of classes. They have classes 7 days a week. Book your class time because, yes, they're still managing class size, so you can go into the gym, feel comfortable and confident about your workout, so you can just focus on getting the best 45 minutes in that you can. And of course, they have the classics like Hollywood. On a Saturday, you can drop in that 60-minute workout to really push yourself to the next level. But F45 training is located 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's really good access from wherever you're coming from in the city, right there, Paseo and I-25. Certified trainers are there at every single class to help you with movement modifications, the movements, and also motivation. Good attitudes, great people. It's been so much fun going to F45. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Sal.
Don't feel bad, Jeffy, says Bill. I used to have a boss that when he said I'm getting ready to cook, meant he was calling the nearest pizza place. P.S. Sloppy House? What happened to On the Spot or whoever was the maid sponsor used to hype? That was Mary Maids. And Mary Maids still comes by. But Mary Maids, they sweep and clean. They don't tidy up. The difference, you have somebody come by and clean your house. They're not putting away your kids' crap. Where are they putting it? They don't know where to put it. They're kind of cleaning around it. They're vacuuming and dusting and cleaning the toilets and the sinks and mopping the floors and whatever. But they're not putting away your kids' crap that's all over the place. They're cleaning around it. I mean, how do you hire someone to here, will you go clean up all my junk? Well, what do you want it? I'm throwing it all away. You know what I'm saying? It was interesting. All right, it's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Hey, I brought up Tommy earlier today, Tom Brady, and he said he was on, what's Michael Strahan? Is it Good Morning America, Today Show, whichever one Michael Strahan's on, I don't even know, because we're on at the same time. Tommy says, I'm always kind of motivated by my doubters. That's what motivated me, the people who were doubting me. And I know you can sit here and say, who the hell is doubting Tom Brady? But there was a lot of doubt when he was going down there, that he was done. His last pass in New England was a pick six. Did you see Tommy? He looked old. He looks tired. He looks finished. He's done, and the whole thing. If you think back a year ago, and I'm going to tell you still now, there's plenty of people who tell me they won in spite of Tommy, which, okay.
Then how did so many people pick Tampa Bay to go to the Super Bowl if there was that many doubters?
And how many people didn't? Right? I mean, there was a slew. There was. I think there was a big chasm on this. There was the people who jumped on it and said, "Look what they put together," and there were plenty of people who were on the other side, which is the beauty of this and other opinion medium. That there were a lot of people, and so my point is, I'm down with this, and where you're going with it. Is this just a guy trying to find a way to motivate himself? He said, I've always been doubted. My arm isn't strong enough. I'm not big enough. I'm too slow. I was picked in the 6th round, 199th overall. I've always been motivated by my doubters. Is that, now that he's considered the best to ever do it, he's won 7 championships, and he's 43 years old, is that a bunch of crap to you? Or do you believe, because I believe it. I believe you got to find a way to keep motivating yourself.
It's a bunch of bull to me, but to Tom Brady, it's something. No one's doubting you. Maybe at this point it's all right, you're getting a little older. Is it going to be there? But still, so many people are all on board with Tampa Bay and what they're bringing together. And you do what you got to do to get yourself going. Whatever keeps you going. And you could be the greatest of all time, but you'd be like, you know what? This one guy said I might not just have it. Right. Boom. Let me get through my workout today. Because it's ridiculous. that Tom Brady thinks that many people actually doubt him at this point in time, but you can always find that one that you need to fuel your fire.
I'm going to totally disagree with you. I think this time, while there were a lot of people who were on Tampa Bay, if you go back, there were a lot of people who said no. There were plenty of people who said he's done, that he's old, that this is just, a shot in the dark, that this isn't going to work. There were. Now, it's easy to sit here after they win a championship and say everybody was on him. Yeah, there were a lot of people on him. But there were, I would tell you, just as many people vocally going the other way, and he's done, and he's washed up, and did you see him play, and he can't do it anymore. And for a guy like that, I'm going to guess you hear what you need to hear, right? You listen to what it is you need to listen to. And, I don't have a problem. Look, if this was Peyton Manning, it would be a little bit harder for me to listen to. You're saying, well, Jeff, Peyton Manning only won 2. Yeah, but Peyton Manning was number 1 overall pick, Peyton Manning was big, strong-armed, always the guy. I'll listen to this guy who was drafted 199th in the 6th round and all that. I'll listen to the underdog story.
He's drafted in the 6th round 20 years ago.
Okay. All right. But that's part of the story,
we're not doubting
right?
you anymore, Tom.
But at some point when you start doubting, like you're doubting Ben Roethlisberger, right? You're doubting, there's people who are saying Aaron Rodgers.
And there's no one doubting Aaron Rodgers. There's no one. Show me that person, and I'll tell you that he doesn't watch football.
The GM of the Packers, probably. Yeah,
Absolutely. The guy who selected Jordan Love probably shouldn't have a job right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got no problem with a guy who look, I've never had success to that level. I'd love to at some point understand it, and then what's going to motivate you to continue to get better. But to continue to find motivation and listen to the Shannon Sharps and the talking heads who are out there screaming that he's not that good and he's done and he's overrated and whatever. Find your motivation, because, again, I've never been to that level. You could sit here and say, what's going to motivate you to win? Well, to win, to be the best, to keep getting better. All right, dude, but you've already won at that point 6, now 7. So what's motivating you now at 7 to just go continue to do it and get better? You're already heads and shoulders the best. What's motivating you to win another one? Well, those guys say I can't do it. I'm down. Like I got no problem with the way he approaches these things. I think all the haters on Tommy, and I'm not saying that you are one, but the haters on Tommy, I've told you I've become more of a Tommy. I've liked him more over the last 5-6 years than I did previously, because it's almost like, damn, I kind of want to be like that guy. Like I want to be the longevity, whatever he's doing in a lot of. I'm talking about physical, the physical and mental success that he has.
Yeah,
what's to hate?
I'm not totally downplaying it, but at this point in time, like, for him to just keep coming out and saying there's so many people. All right, you found like Shannon Sharp, fantastic. Like, ultimately, it wasn't that big. Like, you look at the odds when he signed in Tampa Bay, and where they were for the Buccaneers to be as successful, and we're talking about one of the greatest players of all time. Do what you got to do, but I'm not going to be like, wow, look at the doubters motivate. It's like we call you the greatest of all time, and we're going to have to buy in all these doubters to you. No, thank you.
All right, who'd you tell me Bob is on the line?
Howard.
Howard, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. What's up, Howard?
Come on, it's old Howie, Jeff. JJ.
Hello, Howie.
Hey, quit crying, Tommy. Next thing he's going to come on and say, and Giselle's let herself go. I say she's gained about 1.5 pounds, and my life is over, and I can't find avocado ice cream anymore, and, just the deck is stacked against me, right?
Always has been.
It always has been. But you know what? He has a remarkable story. 6th-round pick, and came in and looked more like a giraffe than a football player, and he carved out a Hall of Fame, possibly the GOAT of all-time career. You got to take your hat off to the guy. But the whining's getting a little old. Come on, Tom. But on another note, that Baylor-Gonzaga game, I feel bad for Gonzaga because the storybook ending came to a bad ending. The slipper didn't fit. So, I had picked Baylor in that game. I did not think they would handle Gonzaga so easily. I thought it was going to be an up-and-down game, and the ultimate outcome would be about 4 or 5 points. I mean, when I saw Gonzaga favored by 4, I jumped all over that. And I hit the under in the last 2.5 minutes of the game when they didn't score any points. I was a happy guy,
Attaboy. Yeah, I was thinking about the number because it was getting close as we were getting towards the end. Yep.
Yep. So I hit a little parlay there. That didn't go too well. But I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I think I know the answer to this one already, but I'd be, being the sports minds that you gentlemen are, I'd much rather hear your opinion on this, and I'll hang up and listen. Has Lamar Jackson played his last football game in the NFL? Now I'm
Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson. Has he played his last game in the NFL? And I'm going to hang up and listen to your answer.
All right, no.
My answer at this moment in time would be no as well.
Yeah. Now he will be suspended, but no. I mean, Mike Vick came back. I think Deshaun Watson, like Ray Lewis came back. My answer would be no. Get more into that when we come back after we talk to Jerry. Coming up next, we'll talk about Baylor Gonzaga as well as everything else that went down in the tournament. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports will be with us when we return on the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks with Aaron and Bobcats producing on 95.9. What are we? 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Is home.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Wide open, Jaden Phillips. Oh, he shattered him like dirty laundry into a hamper.
That was a Derrick Henry style stiff-on.
Motion, there's Winnikoff. Lane, it looks like Winnikoff's wide open over here, but he's threatened on the play. That was Jaden Brown, and he's going to have to just chuck this one up, and that's a touchdown! Wow! I can't believe he was in position for that play.
So, things are looking good. They'll want to avoid Webskowski on the kick, but it gets to the 10. Or I beg your pardon, Now across the 50. That's going to be an opening
wow.
house call. He's
Wow.
going all the way, and he's going to go untouched. 90 yards for Lujan, and that is a nightmare start for Clovis.
That young. Nice serve by Moore. Wow. Outstanding work. The middle blocker, Haley Areola.
Gomez again, the motion man. This one instead handed off. And right through the gut, there's a bunch of space. Nice little hop there. Atrisco fans are on their feet, and for good reason, as that's a 41-yard touchdown. Jaden Cowley.
And 11 for the Tigers. Thurman will roll to his right. Throws on the down and out. Caught. Trying to go for the goal line. Leads it in. Touchdown. What a play.
Jaguars, the snap handed off to Cowley. The big man sweeps aside one. Cutting back inside. He turns around the other direction. He's heading this way. And he's got to just beat one more. And he does. Touchdown.
Cover a ball. Barella in the serve. There's the dig. Boom, the kill shot. Number 6. I tell you what, man. Morgan Torres on the kill shot. 7 seconds left. People are stunned. There's just so much scoring on this game. Will the Hawks be able to respond with the big play? There's a fake on the right side. He's got an open field. Oh my gosh, and just like that, holy cow, amazing. Just like that, the Hawks score. Number 2, Caden Valdez on the right side.
I'm kind of bummed it's all over. I thought it was a fun tournament. Not having one last year maybe made it a little better for me. I don't know, but I thought it was fun overall. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit. Gonzaga and Baylor after the thriller on Saturday night, not as thrilling to end the college basketball season. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, I believe, was in the house and joins us as we wrap up the college basketball season. It was about as fun as it gets in the second game on Saturday, and not as great on Monday. But I thought overall, Jerry, the tournament was really, really fun. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What'd you think overall?
I thought it was a great tournament. You know, we had a fair number of upsets, certainly some exciting finishes. UCLA, just the 5 UCLA games were terrific. Or was it 6? I guess it was 6.
Yeah, they had to play 6 over 3 overtimes.
They gave it a nice story through the tournament. We had a high number of double-digit seeds advancing this year. Baylor's, run to a championship. It's such a great story. And, I mean, you're right. I suppose the championship game was over at the first TV timeout, although maybe we didn't realize it at that moment. But Baylor, I appreciated that game anyway because it's fun to see a really good team play its best, and Baylor played as well as probably Baylor can play on both ends of the floor to the point where even a team as good as Gonzaga couldn't do anything about it.
I made the comment on Monday morning that the whole world was talking about Gonzaga, and rightfully so because of the way they won and Jalen Suggs' shot, and it was fantastic. It was as good a basketball game as we've seen in a long time. And all Baylor did was blow Houston out of the building, and I thought they got to be sitting here going, what about us? Everybody's talking about those guys and their Cinderella story, and here we are, and we're pretty damn good too, and they came out like they had a chip on their shoulder.
Maybe. But Baylor, I don't know that anybody was disrespecting Baylor, but Gonzaga was undefeated, trying to do something that hadn't been done in 45 years. And Baylor, I don't know. I mean, just from my perspective, Gonzaga and Baylor were 1-2 all season long. In fact, neither one of them ever dropped out of the top 3 in the rankings. and of course that would have been Baylor because they ended up losing a couple of games after their COVID pause. But those were the two dominant teams in college basketball all season long. If anybody didn't give Baylor respect or give them a chance or whatever, or think that they were capable of winning this game, I mean, that would have been silly. These were two great teams, dominant teams in college basketball this year, separated from the rest of college basketball this season. And we got a matchup we deserved. We were all hoping for something more competitive. It was 4 months to the day after their original matchup was canceled because of COVID. And the better team on that day won, and maybe the better team, period, won.
Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com is with us on the opening drive.
And, Jerry, Scott Drew is in a league of his own when it comes to, as Jim Nantz said, a rebuild. Well, with everything that Baylor went through, he took over the program. Unbelievable story for Scott Drew. How was he able to do this?
Unfaltering optimism. Scott, I live about half an hour from Valparaiso, and have been able to get to know just a little bit the Drews, enough to be friendly, if not friends, with the Homer and his two sons. And Scott, it's funny. I've done a little bit of schedule consulting, and Scott was the very first coach to ever contact me about that when he was still an assistant with his dad at Valparaiso. But Scott is a guy that it just never stops believing that the goal is attainable, and nothing gets him down. To the point where he just doesn't, can't bounce right back. And that belief, and that was the goal from day one. When he went to Baylor, and to call that program an unmitigated disaster would be generous. What he took over at Baylor, and he says in his introductory press conference, I didn't come here to go to the NCAA tournament. I came here to win it, and it took almost 20 years to build it up to that point. But he never stopped believing in the goal, and was able to sell it to players coming in. And it was a long build, but they eventually got there, and that's a program that's not going away.
And Jerry, when you look at the other coaches in this tournament, and things can be completely different next year, that's understandable. But when you look at a Wayne Tinkle, a Mick Cronin, Kelvin Sampson, a run with Houston, what are some of your takeaways about what those coaches did in March?
Yeah, well, obviously Mick Cronin, had struggles with his team all year. He had a high-level recruit decide not to play at all and go into the NBA league, the G League. Then he had his best player gets hurt in the middle of the season. They struggled down the stretch, losing 4 in a row going into the NCAA tournament. But, boy, they bounced right back, and they get a big comeback win over Michigan State in the first four, and really used that momentum well. And they were fantastic the rest of this tournament. They muddied things up. They won the ways that they had to win. I don't know that any of his games were not close, but that was a great job by Mick Cronin to get them through the tournament the way they did. Same for Wayne Tinkle, who had to win the conference tournament to get in, and then gets to the Elite Eight after that. It was Houston's run. Kelvin Sampson is trying to still sort of rebuild his own reputation after the problems he had at Indiana, and he's done a fantastic job at Houston. I don't know what this means for their programs long term, but probably UCLA is in the better shape of those three going forward just because of recruiting that's already happened.
What did you, when it's all said and done on Gonzaga, I've heard people say their season was a disappointment. I just say there's no way. Now, well, all right, now I'll work with disappointment. I heard failure, and it's not a failure. It was championship or bust. I'll go with disappointment. But there's no way that was anything but a success. To get to the championship game, they were better than every other program in America but one. I'll work with disappointment. If you want to tell me that they were undefeated until the end, they were number one, I can hear that. But you can't tell me, and this whole garbage about they play in a weak league and all this, look what they did to everybody they played, and the Kansases and the Virginias and the schedule they played, and beating everybody by double digits. I just can't buy it.
No, it's I mean, look, only one team is not disappointed at the end of the season, right? Everybody's disappointed at the end of the year. Even the teams that had the 16 seeds that know they had no chance of winning their game, they're disappointed at the end of the year. So, of course, Gonzaga did not reach the goal that they had hoped for, and they're disappointed. But to call their season a failure, that's ridiculous. That was an elite team in college basketball. That you could argue, even though they didn't win the championship, that they're one of the maybe 5 best teams in the three-point shot era of college basketball. The season that they had, they were fantastic. It didn't end the way they wanted, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But Gonzaga had a terrific season, and it's another step forward for Mark Few's program. Nobody may see it that way because everybody's like, you either win a championship or you're just another loser. But that's really short-sighted, and Gonzaga will be right back next year competing for it again.
All right, what about West Coast basketball? The Pac-12 had such a great run. I mean, you even look at the women's and what it was. But first time ever, Jerry, that there was no team east of the Mississippi in the Final Four. For us out here, I say thank you. We needed this. But what does that mean in the long run, if anything?
Nothing. It's just this year. 1 year's not a trend. And the Pac-12 had a great run in the tournament after what was, by any measure, mediocre regular season. And that's the regular season's a regular season, and the tournament's a new season. But you can't let 3 or 4 games, overwhelm 4 months. You are who you are from November to March, not just March. And so the Pac-12 had a really good run and should try and use that to build some momentum for a league that really needs momentum. This gives them a great opportunity to do some of that. We'll see how it goes. But if they don't take this and build some momentum from it, then it was just a flash in the pan.
I think SC's program is I mean, what he's done there is good. I think UCLA is going to be terrific. I'm a big Wayne Tinkle fan. I think Oregon is always going to be good. You get to a point where I think Stanford's going to be back. It'll be interesting to see what Utah does with Craig Smith, and then the Arizona schools. You got to believe at some point are going to be good, right? It's a tough league because they beat each other up so much.
Well, but that's every league, right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't make the Pac-12 unique.
No, that's right.
Everybody beats each other up. You ought to see the wars in the Big Ten.
That's right.
It's brutal. But that's the way it is. So that's what conference basketball is like. Familiarity breeds contempt.
And everybody thinks they should be the best.
So the conference tournament was good, but they need to show it in the regular season. Now, we had a disjointed at best regular season this year. So, the Pac-12 did not perform well outside the league, and I think Oregon didn't even get to play outside the league or hardly got to play outside the league. And so, it's hard to – you don't want to certainly make grand conclusions based on the NCAA tournament, that are broad conclusions. And you should probably, take some caution in making such grand conclusions based on a COVID season where a lot of games got canceled and some teams didn't really get to show themselves or get to be themselves ever at any point in the season. So, but that doesn't mean that the Pac-12 doesn't have momentum coming out of this tournament. They should certainly take advantage of it.
Well, Jerry, lastly for me, when we sat here last week, it was hard to believe that Roy Williams was actually stepping down in North Carolina, given the fact it was April Fool's. But it did happen. No surprise, they promoted from within. And then Chris Beard, Texas Tech to Texas. What do you think of those head coaching moves that we saw over the last week?
Well, I mean, Roy is an old guy.
Really need to
he's 70-something, right, or 70 years old. It shouldn't be too surprised that he would retire. But the fact that I think we were on the phone when it happened last week.
Yes.
It was during this interview. And it was April Fool's Day, so we're like, are we sure? But promoting Hubert Davis, no real surprise there. Chris Beard taking the Texas job, he's an alum, and that's a step up from Texas Tech. Even though Texas Tech has been good of late, that's still a step up. So I think that's a great move for Texas. And I think Texas Tech, promoted from within as well. So
they did.
We'll see how that goes. But, I think those are, a really good move for Texas, and we'll see about North Carolina, but certainly there's no reason to be pessimistic about Hubert Davis.
All right. Hey, you want to do one more next week? We'll wrap up the season, go over some coaching stuff, and then, all right. Yeah. I appreciate the flexibility this week. We'll call you next week, and read him every day. Jerry Palm over on CBSSports.com. Twitter at JPPalmCBS. At JPPalmCBS. All right, Jerry, enjoy the week. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Trouble hiring?
this up. The man to receive it is also wearing number 3, Isaiah Garcia. He does catch it off the hop. Nice move by him. He's got some room out there on the right-hand side. He's got to get around his opposite number. He does. Gets one block in. He gets around the last guy. Can he get in? And there's the first points for the Manzano Monarchs. Isaiah Garcia all the way here from his own 45.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You asked Jerry a little bit about the coaching carousel and everything that's going on. And Aggie fan, you're on alert again. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. So Shaka Smart left Texas for Marquette. And, of course, Texas hired Chris Beard. Chris Beard goes from Texas Tech to UT. Texas Tech promotes an assistant. But that then Chris Beard hires Rodney Terry from UTEP to be an assistant. So that opened up UTEP, and of course, the first thing that UTEP is well, there's not the first thing. It's funny. I look at a number of places. The El Paso newspaper doesn't even list Chris Jans as a candidate, and I don't know how they don't. Then you go to one of their radio stations, and Jans is listed as the top guy. And you got to be nervous now at this point, because this is a move that UTEP would be able to pay more than New Mexico State, right? They're in. Work with me on what you think of Conference USA as a basketball conference, because I'm struggling there. I like what the WAC is doing with their expansion. They're going to be better, but I don't think they're going to be as good as Conference USA. I mean, are they comparable? Because Conference USA
not right now
me as a basketball conference.
Conference USA,
North Texas,
right now,
yeah,
is a much more stable environment. I like the direction the WAC is going. I think the WAC will be there in a few years, but right now, Conference USA is at least that.
North Texas, Western Kentucky are always good programs. UTEP wants to be. I think Chris would be able to make them that. You're seeing names like Marvin. Marvin makes a lot of sense, right? Now, again, would you rather have Chris Jans or Marvin Menzies? I think you'd rather have Chris Jans. Tony Barbee, who was a coach there. The one that really makes a lot of sense to me is Billy Gillespie. He's at Tarleton State. He had a lot of success. I think they make a run at Joe Golding. He's the Abilene Christian coach. Joe Golding's going to probably get a lot of love. Now, maybe Joe Golding goes there. I don't know. This is where I always wonder, a private faith-based school, how much money can they pay as opposed to a public university like UTEP? But would Joe Golding be number one on that list, or would you go for Chris Jans, Billy Gillespie? What do you like? What do you like there?
Chris Jans, Joe Golden. You look at what Golden did at Abilene Christian. They transitioned. They went D2 to D1, and then ultimately won a game in NCAA tournament. That is crazy good. So those would be the top two names on my list. Chris Jans would be up there ahead of a Billy Gillespie, things like that. Like guys that are solid coaches, have a little bit of a name, fantastic. But I'm shooting for a Jans, I'm shooting for a Golden, something like that before I get down to kind of one of the career names.
Does the rivalry element play into it at all? Are you more apt or less apt to go after a head coach at one of your main rivals? New Mexico obviously didn't care when they took Paul Weir. I just think this would be a double kick in the stones to Aggie fan. All right, New Mexico took Weir. All right, fine. They feel it fell upward with Jans. Now they've had so much success with Jans. I think they expect to lose Jans at some point. But sure,
losing the UTEP would be even worse than
you got to see him
Paul Weir going to New Mexico.
I think that's right, man. I think your stones haven't settled yet, or maybe they have, and you get them kicked again, and then would Chris do this? Like, is this the job that Chris would want to leave for? Right? I think he understands Aggie fan and that whole personality pretty well. Chris is going to get a job, okay? Chris Jans is going to get paid. He's going to get a job. Is this the one? I mean, they flirted with East Tennessee last year, and you start saying, well, gosh, if he flirted with East Tennessee, he sure as hell will listen to UTEP. But is this the one for Chris?
I know the immediate reaction, especially with Maggie fans, would be like, heck no. Why would this be the one? And we did touch on this year, as rough as it was, at least it benefit New Mexico State, because I don't think Chris Jansen's been as hot a commodity as you'd expect him to be in the coaching search market.
I'm Jim Center, the AD at UTEP. He's my first call, too. I'm on him. The Joe Golding thing. I like Billy Gillespie, too. Marvin interests me. I'll give you some other names, too. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Network and 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Open Jaden Phillips. Oh, he shattered him like dirty laundry into a hamper.
That was a Derrick Henry style stiff
Motion, there's Winnikoff. Lane, it looks like Winnikoff's wide open over here, but he's threatened on the play. That was Jaden Brown, and he's going to have to just chuck this one up, and that's a touchdown! Wow! I can't believe he was in position for that play.
So, things are looking good. They'll want to avoid Webskowski in the kick, but it gets to the 10. Or I beg your pardon. Now across the 50. That's going to be an opening house call. He's going all the way, and he's going to go untouched. 90 yards for Lujan, and that is a nightmare start for Clovis.
Nice serve by Moore. Wow. Outstanding work. The middle blocker, Haley Areola.
Gomez again, the motion man. This one instead handed off. And right through the gut, there's a bunch of space. Nice little hop there. Etrisco fans are on their feet, and for good reason, as that's a 41-yard touchdown. Jaden Cowley.
And 11 for the Tigers. Sherman will roll to his right. Throws on the down and out. Caught. Trying to go for the goal line. Leads it in, touchdown. What a play.
Jaguars, the snap handed off to Cowley. The big man sweeps aside one, cutting back inside. He turns around the other direction. He's heading this way, and he's got to just beat one more, and he does. Touchdown.
A ball. Barella in the serve. There's a dig. Boom, the kill shot. Number 6. I tell you what, man. Morgan Torres on the kill shot. 7 seconds left. People are stunned. There's just so much scoring on this game.
This is draft coming up at the bottom of the hour. I know you're going to be fascinated to know who JJ's got and who I got and who Aaron's got. I know.
Who do we like this weekend?
By this time tomorrow, I think we have Masters underway, which is good. All right, we're talking about the UTEP job. Aggie fan, are you nervous at all? Is this one make you nervous? I asked you that about Texas Tech. Does this one make you nervous? UTEP is open. It's a short commute. I know you've still got raw emotions, or at least some of you do, from when New Mexico hired Paul Weir. Who, first of all, I think he's the best candidate for that job. Like if I'm just from a purely UTEP position, I'm looking at the names. I like Billy Gillespie too. Now Billy Gillespie was there. He had success. Went on to A&M. He had that issue. Remember, he had the DWI and the alcohol problem. He's at Tarleton. He's kind of cleaned up his image. It feels like he's at a good spot. Obviously, Joe Golding at Abilene Christian is somebody that every opening, especially every opening in Texas, his name's going to be mentioned. A couple other names: Kamani Young, who is an assistant at UConn. I'm sorry, Kamani Jones, who is the assistant at UConn, is a name familiar with UTEP fans because he played there. As is Greg Foster, who's an assistant coach. I'm seeing Tim Hardaway's name come up in all of these stories. He was an assistant with the Pistons, probably the best modern time UTEP player. So there's a lot of names that are out there. I see Paul Weir's name on this list. I mean, maybe would Paul Weir be a name for that job?
No, like it's a name, but I think they would have probably swung and missed on a lot more before you get down there.
Do they take a shot at Greg Marshall? Is UTEP a spot for? I mean, I would think Kyle Keller, Stephen F. Austin. How good is the UTEP job? I guess is what it comes down to.
I think it's a solid job, and it's one you look at conference stability. Conference USA has that. It's not a huge hurdle to win in that conference. Like, who are you going in, man? We have to run this team down. There's some solid programs, but there's not an overwhelming hill to climb to be competitive and win your conference.
I look at it. Western Kentucky's always good. North Texas was obviously really good this year. UAB tends to be good. I mean, Marshall has, but you can, if someone decides to build a program, and I say decides, right? If someone gets, not just a team, if someone builds a program in that league, I think there can be sustained success. Now, what does that mean? How do you build a program? I don't know that, who's going to be able to keep a coach around for a while? And that's where I start looking at, well, if Billy Gillespie has success here, if Marvin Menzies has success here, guys who have climbed the ladder and have come back theoretically down, would they stay for a while? Would those guys say, I like El Paso? Because if they're coming back, they know what they're getting into, right? How does one build a program in that league? Like San Diego State has done in the Mountain West. Like
Sean's on the line.
Like Nevada to some extent is done, right? Like you're hoping gets done at New Mexico. There's got to be some stability. And so if I'm thinking in those terms, like is Chris Jans going to want to be here long term? I'm thinking, well, he might be here 3 years. Like Chris Jans hasn't gotten paid yet, right? Chris Jans, to me, at some point is going to get paid. And is this the job? I don't know if I believe Marvin Menzies can get me that point. I look at a Marvin Menzies. I look at a Billy Gillespie. Because I think, Golding, Jan, guys on their way up. But what do I want? Do I want somebody to establish the program and then let somebody else take it over? I mean, what is UTEP?
I think first and foremost, I don't care if he's here 4 years, 8 years. Are you going to be successful? And
yes,
you're right. You have this list that you're going through as an AD, hitting all these things, and I do think that's an interesting question. Like, do they want to try to cash in on the quote-unquote up-and-comer guy who might bounce, or try to go an extended run? Either way, not breaking any news here. You're for that success piece, and you said it, and you've been steadfast in this. If that's the case, you say thank you. Like, we were successful, and let's just try to pick it back up and keep it going.
Yeah, and when Jans leaves New Mexico State, that's what you do. It's just going to be tougher if he's going there and you got to see him twice a year. John, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, John.
Sean.
Hey, guys.
Sean. What's up,
Sean?
Sean?
Hey,
Sean.
Close enough, though. First of all, I just got to say it's, if your rivals are looking at your whether they're in state or 45 minutes down the road. I think it's pretty lazy hiring by your AD in your school. You got over 300 head coaches and I don't know, over 1,000 assistants that you can choose from, but you decide to go for your rival's coach. It's pretty lowbrow. I mean, I would expect it from UNM, but UTEP, I don't know. Second, I think it's kind of a bad look it's an extremely bad look for NMSU if they lose Jans to another rival. But my issue is that anytime there's a coaching job that opens up that pays $100K more, Jan's name is on the list. What is NMSU doing to retain him? I mean, he's making over $500K with a retention bonus, but those are from donors. What if those donors decide, oh, hey, sorry, I can't pay that retention bonus this year. He's down to $290K again. Reggie Theus made $275 base in 2007, and Jan's base is $290. I mean, this is 14 years later. You have a $600 million budget, and you can't find $200K to keep a coach. It's pretty pathetic, in my opinion. And it's not so much a Mario. I think Mario is doing a great job. I think he's doing the best job he can, but it just goes to show that the upper brass is not willing to invest in athletics, even though they keep creating these bigger administration jobs that take up huge amounts of salary, yet they don't want to invest in athletics at all. It's pretty upsetting to me. Thanks, guys.
Well, yeah, they've got to have what to invest, and that's where it always comes. I mean, you want to pay, but how do you pay? I mean, every time you up a coach, we keep hearing private donations for this, and where's it coming from? They don't have a football television deal, which pays for so much of this stuff. I hear where he's coming from, and you want to pay. How do you pay him?
Yeah, and then also to his first point, absolutely I understand. From a straight fan standpoint,
it sucks.
That is the worst. And you're going to call those universities lazy. You're going to call them out. You're going to be pissed off. But if Chris Jans, you feel, is the best candidate, I don't care if he's at New Mexico or New Mexico State, a rival, you still got to make that call because that's good business on your side. Yeah, it's going to upset the entire fan base, and no one's going to like it, and they're going to call you lazy, etc. But if he's the best candidate, I don't care if it's your rival or not, you make that call and see if he wants to listen.
I'm just telling you, if I'm an AD, at a place like that, in New Mexico, I couldn't have done it. If I was Eddie, I couldn't have hired Jan. You can't do that 2 times in a row. First of all, I just went down that path. It didn't work. I got to go right. But if I'm an AD in a lot of places like that, and even heck, at some of these Power 5 places, if I'm Texas Tech, I would have looked at him. I'm looking at what Chris Jans does and how he does it, and he's high on my list. I'm not telling you I hire him. You dig into everything and talk to everybody, but he's high on my list. Jay, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're good, thank you. How are you?
Nervous, very nervous.
I'll bet.
The Chris Jans thing is very interesting, and I'm just going to say this. First of all, if Chris takes that job, it's hey, shake his hand. It sucks because we'll have to see him twice a year, but it is what it is. But here's the thing, and UTEP, there's a little hidden layer to the story. UTEP asked Rodney Terry to take a pay cut this year because of COVID. So their athletic department is hemorrhaging a little bit of money, much more so than UNM. So having to pay a buyout is going to might possibly be pretty challenging for UTEP at this point. And that may have something to do with what candidates or who they ultimately hire. Now, I don't know what Jans's buyout is. Maybe you all have a better idea, but that might be the saving grace in this. I will say this. It's a good job. It actually might be, I think it pays more than UNM's job. I think their base salary is $725. UNM's might be $700 or $625. So that's something that program is probably the most recognizable brand in Conference USA. When you think about the programs in Conference USA, and I'm not somebody that follows that conference, intently. But when you start thinking of Marshall, when you start thinking of
Marshall's the brand in that league. Yeah, Marshall's the biggest brand in that league. But after that, it varies back and forth. So salary, Terry's you got an extension through 2023-24, but he took a $200,000 salary cut for this last academic year. He was making $731,000,
right,
which is obviously way more than Chris is making.
Right, and the Marshall thing, I think Marshall's brand is basically due to football. It's not a basketball.
I think that's right.
So when you think about it, as far as basketball brands, UTEP is probably the most recognizable. And oddly enough,
they won a national championship.
Right. Yeah, and oddly enough, hasn't won a Conference USA championship, tournament championship. I mean, when you think about that, that's the oddest thing about that. So it's very troubling because I can see Jans taking that job if offered. But I also think when you look at that list, there's a lot of guys on that list that are very good coaches that will make UTEP a very good program, or at least a very competitive program.
Feels like it's just I'm looking through more stuff, Jay. I mean, a lot of people love Joe Golding, and I get it. The guy at Abilene, so we'll see.
Abilene
all right, man.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call.
Thanks.
Golding seems to be like the number one. And does he take? Look, we're getting late in the cycle a little bit, right? I mean, if Joe Golding gets offered this job, don't you think he takes it?
Yes.
I do too. All right, we'll continue this conversation. 505-246-0610. Going to do the Masters draft. Coming up at the bottom of the hour. Hey, fellas, a few truths for you as you roll through the middle of your week. As you age, all of us, things like fatigue, low T, hair loss are natural, and there's a good chance it's going to happen to you. There's also something you can do to battle nature and feel like you again. If you're experiencing these things, if you're regularly tired, maybe carrying a few extra pounds, dealing with erectile dysfunction, I suggest you call NewMale. NewMale leads the way in helping men deal with these things, and they have for years. Their testosterone replacement utilizes the latest cutting-edge technology, and men all over the country benefit from it. They feel better. Do yourself a favor and call 505-652-1688 or visit NewMale. That's NUMALE.com. Fellas, NewMale is convenient. They're right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable. Starts with your phone call all the way through the treatment. NewMale guides you through the process, and the best part is the results are real. 505-652-1688. Don't put it off. Take care of you. Visit NewMale.com or call 505-652-1688 and feel better.
7 seconds left. People are stunned. There's just so much scoring on this game. Will the Hawks be able to respond with the big play? There's a fake on the right side. He's got an open field. Oh my gosh, and just like that, holy cow, amazing. Just like that, the Hawks score. Number 2, Caden Valdez on the right side.
Remember on the punter. He'll pop this up. The man to receive it is also wearing number 3, Isaiah Garcia. He does catch it off the hop. Nice move by him. He's got some room out there on the right-hand side. He's got to get around his opposite number. He does. Gets one block in. He gets around the last guy. Can he get in? And there's the first points for the Manzano Monarchs. Isaiah Garcia all the way here from his own 45.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
Feels like Joe Golding might be the favorite amongst UTEP fans to take the head coaching job for the Miners. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Another name to look out for, Jerome Tang. He's the assistant at Baylor. Tim Miles took the job at San Jose State yesterday, so Tim Miles will be in the Mountain West Conference after all. Did Utah State hire?
I do not believe they hired yet.
Because I thought he might be a really good fit at Utah State. Tim Miles, but boy, he wanted to get back in this league, and he's back in this league, and he's at San Jose State. And
he just, dude, he was standing on the corner with the sign, "Basketball coach for hire." He's like, I don't care. Does anyone have a basketball job that you can give me, and I will take it. Now, the thing with San Jose State is this is 100% a job where you got to give this dude 6+ years. Like, you cannot be running through coaches at San Jose State every 3 to 4 seasons.
Well, they gave Jean Prelo time, didn't they? How long was Jean Prelo?
It doesn't feel like it. Let me double check. It feels like you just got to sit back, let Tim Miles go for a while and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's right. So what happens at UTEP? And I'm seeing Paul Weir's name up. I mean, you're seeing every name in the book up, from Billy Gillespie. Some people love Greg Foster, the former player who's an assistant coach. Joe Golding seems to be the hot name. Chris Jans certainly is a name. There's a lot of names. That place is a lot like this when it comes to basketball now. It's a basketball, I use the air quotes on it, basketball school, but they've won a national championship. And it's the UNLV thing, right? Because they've won a national basketball championship, there's a feeling amongst fans and boosters that that's where they should be every year, and I get it. And so there's some who want somebody who's going to stay for a while. Some that don't care, give me a guy who's going to get us back to prominence. The Joe Golding thing, he's hot, he's at Abilene. The job paid Rodney Terry $730,000-ish. The Jans thing, I'm just telling you, I'm looking down the street if I'm Jim Center too. But I'm looking at a lot of places. Marvin Menzies' name is interesting. Gillespie, Barbie, the Jerome Tang thing. I think they're going to probably go with someone who's been a head coach, I would think. But that job is really, really similar to this job, don't you think?
They are. And back to San Jose State quickly, Jean Prulot had 4 seasons at the helm. So pretty much one recruiting class. But still, you're the Spartans. You got to give a guy like 6+ years. Like, you got to get Tim Miles a long leash because you got nothing. You've established nothing in this conference. And it's going to take time. And if you're at that point where you think every 3 or 4 years you're going to run over coaches, no, you're going to continue to be at the bottom of this league for a long time.
What do you think of the Tim Miles hire there?
I think it works. I do think that's a good situation for Tim Miles.
Yeah,
because he needs to just sit back, take a deep breath, and go to work for a long time.
No, I think it's a really good hire. I had a buddy said, so they hired him. I mean, was it good enough for New Mexico? And I said, Tim Miles is I used your term. Tim Miles is fine. Yeah, Jeffrey's fine. I mean, whatever. Tim Miles is fine. He's a fine. And I think right now, if you told San Jose State fan your basketball program is going to be fine, they'd be thrilled, right?
First, they'd be like, what's a basketball program? And second, they'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Yes, fine is so much better than what they are and what they have been. So, yeah, Timmy's fine. I mean, Tim Miles is a fine hire. And I think for that program, where they are right now, the 1,700 people that go to their basketball games, they'd be thrilled to be fine. They'd be thrilled to be 9-9 in this conference and competitive. They'd be thrilled. And Tim Miles can probably get them there. Look, if Tim Miles and there's so much talent there. You hear this all the time. I heard this for years about San Diego State football and basketball. Well, there's so much talent, but they're not coming here. They're going to SC, they're going to UCLA, they're going to Oregon, they're going to Washington. How do you find a way? There's so much talent in Northern California, Central California. If he can pick off 1 or 2 players here, look, if you made this very clear, look at what they've done initially to get guys to San Jose State. Now, they've been murdered in the transfer portal, right? They've had guys go everywhere and be really, really good. But they've been able to get guys there. Hell, if he can get a couple of those guys in for a year or 2 and start establishing a team, then he can start establishing a program. And you only got to hit on a few of them.
Absolutely. You go, the biggest one, Brandon Clark. Started at San Jose State, transferred to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Came a lottery pick, NBA draft prospect. And so, yes, they've had guys that have transferred to USC, that have transferred to Auburn. You can get talented players there, and you do have to realize that. You have to take advantage for 1 or 2 years along with player development. You're going to take more chances at San Jose State in the player market than you would somewhere else, and just hope that you can have competitive moments and at least not be in this every 3 to 4 years where you're turning coaches over, because that's a program that can't do that. They need to take the bumps. They need to establish something, anything.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good hire for them. I do. And I mean, if you start looking around and what was San Jose State going to do, I think that's a terrific hire for them. Well, Jeff, you're the one who said it wasn't good for New Mexico. Yeah, that's right. I didn't think it was a great hire for New Mexico. I thought it would have been, to your, you phrased it perfectly. It would be fine. I think Global Fan was looking for more than fine. Did they get that? We're going to find out. Who knows, man? 2 years, 3 years down the line, maybe Tim Miles is a better coach than Richard Pitino. We'll see how these programs play out. It's a challenging job, man. That job up there, you realize their resources, while geographically they're in a wonderful, wonderful spot, and the university's good, it's expensive to live there, and they're the afterthought in that market. So, after Stanford and Cal, and hell, after St. Mary's and somewhat Santa Clara, wouldn't you say? Then there's San Jose State basketball. I mean, who's on TV more? St. Mary's, Santa Clara, or San Jose State? It's not San Jose State.
This is a very challenging job and situation, but one that, this is a fine hire. This works for Tim Miles. I like Tim Miles in this situation.
Hey, I like Tim Miles, like Dot. I like Tim Miles, and I like him in this situation. I think it's a good hire for the league, and I'm glad Tim Miles found a spot in this league, because he had some success here. I thought he was going to end up at Utah State. I really did. Boy, San Jose State took a long time to find their guy, didn't they?
Yeah, it's about a month ago the job opened. So
yeah, I think it's a good spot for them, and it works for them. We're going to talk Masters when we come back. It starts tomorrow. We'll do a little draft for you. Are you up here? Oh, no, am I up here? I guess it's
it's me. I
huh?
just.
Oh, okay.
F45.
It's F45. I'm up here. So let's get it going. And speaking of getting ready for your draft, if you want to be in the best shape possible, let me introduce you to F45 training. F45 training is high-intensity circuit training in 45-minute classes. And I am really looking forward to my workouts again, caring about my fitness level. And F45 training is a gym that whether you're someone that's had a redshirt season, raise your hand, that was me, the last year, or someone looking to challenge themselves to get to the next level, you can do it. All fitness levels can take these classes. It's a really good atmosphere. I'm having a lot of fun. And what it does is it challenges your mind and body, a new workout, a different class every single day. This week, I'm looking forward to quarterback. First time I'll be trying this one. It's a agility, resistance, and power-based cardio workout in 45-minute classes. Then you can drop in on Hollywood on Saturday and get your 60-minute workout in if you're looking for that extra push. But F45 is located at 5920 Holly Northeast. Really good access from wherever you're coming from in the city right there. Of course, Paseo, I-25, all kinds of different shops and restaurants around, which maybe you can get yourself a little lunch after you get yourself a good 45-minute workout. And certified trainers are at every class. Great attitudes, awesome people so far, and it sets up for just a really good atmosphere, comfortable, fun. You can focus on your workout and get the best out of your time at F45. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app to look at the schedule of classes. They have classes available 7 days a week. You can sign up for your 7-day free trial as well. Get in there, have some fun. You're going to enjoy it. F45 training, team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Sadie.
Well, it is a tradition unlike any other. It is the Masters, and it is tomorrow. It starts. It's this weekend at Augusta National. and it's up, all over the place as far as who's going to win. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. So J.J.'s decided to play a little game. How are you deciding the order of pick? We're going to do a snake draft.
Well, we could do snake or traditional. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Well, I think
really quickly.
a snake feels right. I mean, a snake.
All right, so we'll do a snake draft. Right? I'll go third. So I was thinking we could give the honor to our brand new ProView producer, Aaron. So it'll be Aaron, Jeff, myself, snake style, 5 picks. This is the scoring I'm going to use to keep track of this to make it simpler for me. It's going to be a daily fantasy format scoring-wise. So we'll be able to come back, Sue, pick the best team, and no, the only thing you can't do is, of course, pick someone that's been picked. Other than that, let's see if we can pick the 5 best guys to get the highest score this weekend.
All right. It's really a team of and what's on the line here? Is it lunch?
We can go lunch. I'm down.
So whoever
Put
loses loses has to take the other 2 guys to lunch, right?
Sounds good to me.
So there's 2 winners. Is that what we're saying, or we? Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. So Aaron, you got first pick, is what I'm told, because you're what? Because you're you? Is that how it is?
Because we're being nice.
All right.
A begins
is your
the
microphone
alphabet.
on?
Yeah.
Begins. That's fair enough. All right. So who you got?
I got DeChambeau, best golfer in the country right now. 2 wins on the season, and dude's best from tee to the green. So
you're making. I figured you'd pick one of the other. Gosh, so now you're making me think. I'm going to go as much as. Which way do I go now? I thought you were going to make it easy on me, JJ. I'm like, because you know which 2 I'm going. I'm between right now. I'm going to go. Give me DJ. I'll take DJ.
Not bad, of course, defending champion coming in with the best odds in this year's Masters tournament, Dustin Johnson, a very solid pick. With that being said, my back-to-back picks, first and second round, I am going to go with Justin Thomas.
That's the other one I was going with.
And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with my guy, Tony Finau. Just because I want that consistency, I want that luck, and I think it's another top 10 finish on deck for Tony Finau.
All right, so that puts it to me, doesn't it? Boy, it doesn't feel like it should be that hard. Well, I'm probably going to go like as you did. So you went with your with your guy. At some point, my guy's going to win, isn't he? I mean, at some point, my guy's going to win a major, right? I'm going to go with Xander.
Are we talking Xander Schauffele all?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Schauffele. Yeah, I'll take Xander. Boy, there's so many more than just a couple guys I want. But I'll go with Xander.
Well, you guys just took the 2 guys I wanted, so I guess I'll take John Rahm for number 2.
I like that. Brand new father coming into this tournament. That's not on his mind. Baby boy is at home. I think he's in line for a good tournament.
Never missed a cut either at the Masters. And do I pick the next one?
Yep. On the snake, you get the next one.
All right, then I want Sungjae Im.
That's a good pick. Yeah, he's on my list too. So JJ, I'm trying to figure out how deep I want to go into my into my pocket here. Remember last year, I played and I gave you a guy that came out of nowhere. I'm going to take a Texan, who's not playing or who has been playing really well, but it's not the Texan you're thinking of. I'm going to go with Scotty Scheffler.
The Scheffler.
God,
I like that.
Bunch of guys I
24-year-old, 3 top 10s in his past 6 starts on tour. Yeah. Runner-up at the Dell Technologies Match Play. 19th in last year's Masters.
Right. So now you got 2, huh?
I do. So at this point in time, I'm going to drop in a little Roy McIlroy.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
It's been too long.
That's a hit and miss. That's a hit and miss, though. He hadn't been playing great, but boy, he really plays well here.
And then I'm going to give you another one of those, what I think is just a solid horse for the course picks.
Don't do it.
Webb Simpson.
Okay, that's good. So, gosh, there's a bunch of guys that I want now. Aaron. You know what? I'm going to go with my third. I'm going to go Patrick Cantlay. I'm going to go a little bit off of where I wanted to go and go deeper. There's like 5 guys I still want now. But I'll go
Patrick
Cantlay.
Cantlay. Maybe he can, the UCLA graduate, maybe he catches on a little of the Bruin magic left over from the NCAA tournament.
Yep. So now you got 2.
All right, so I'm going to take first guy from South Africa, Louis Oosthuizen.
Ooh, nice one.
He was pretty good last year. And then the guy from Chile, the dark horse, Joaquin Niemann.
That's a nice pick. All right, well, then you're going to force me to do it. And there's 3 guys I really want right here. Actually, 4. I'll take Jordan Spieth. I'll take him here. If you're going to force me to take him with my last pick, I'll take him.
Dropping like Justin Fields in our draft coming in. A hot bandwagon favorite this weekend.
I'll take him. Yep. So you got 1 left.
I do.
God, there's so many good ones, man.
There is. Do you want to go like a Lee Westwood, Paul Casey, some of the older guys that have been in good form? You know, I'm this guy has 4 top 15 finishes and 9 starts at Augusta National. Was tied for 13th last year. Give me Hideki Matsuyama.
Good one. All right. So let me just tell you, there's so many guys I want left. I wanted Westwood because I think Westwood's going to be top 10. I do. He's playing so well. He has been so close to winning a major, and he never has. I love Westwood this week. I like Patrick Reed on this golf course. Love Patrick Reed on this golf course. And I like Victor Hovland this week. So those were 3 guys and Mark Hawa. Mark Hawa is a major champion and has been playing really well. It was when you took DeChambeau off the top, because I didn't know if I wanted to go Justin Thomas. I loved where I was in the 2 slot to get Thomas or Dustin Johnson. And then you because I wasn't going to take DeChambeau because I just don't want to root for him.
You don't want to root for him.
Well, that's why I took Xander.
Yeah, and that's we went with probably a little higher in the second round. We did. So our Masters draft are 5-man teams for this weekend. We'll start with Aaron, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, Sungjae Im, Louis Oosthuizen, Joaquin Niemann. I love that top 3. Big on John Rahm. I do think the new father, that's not on his mind. He can focus on the Masters. Is really going to benefit him this year. Of course, Mr. Siembieda, Dustin Johnson, defending champ. Next man, Xander Schauffele. Then the other almost Schaff and Scotty Scheffler, the Texan, Patrick Cantlay, and Jordan Spieth. Spieth sliding down.
Yeah, it's a lot of Americans, huh?
And into round 5, coming off his victory. And then my team went with Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Roy McIlroy, Webb Simpson, and Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, God, there's so many good ones out there. Like, I mean, and this is why when somebody tells me, well, Jeff, the Tiger's not there, I don't care about the Masters. Dude, there's so many good stories. The DeChambeau thing with him coming out with his 4.5-degree driver, and people are going to go, what does that even mean, Jeff? Who cares? It's damn near flat. Like, you look at a golf club and there's an angle to it, right? That's what launches the ball. I think the average for amateurs, I believe it to be a 10-degree, 10.5. I hit a 9-degree driver. It just because I get a lot of height on my drive. 4.5 it's like how he's getting the ball up is just what he's doing is amazing, and it just gives it obviously a lot more length on it. But he's a great story. The Spieth story is great. John Rahm being a dad is great. How's Rory going to come back? Great story. Xander trying to get his first. And there's a bunch of personalities out there. You know, the Dustin Johnson trying to repeat 5 months later is a great story. Lee Westwood playing so well at 40. What is he, 48 years old?
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing we could have done is done like a wild card 40 and over selection or something like that. We'll think about that next major tournament. But here's our Masters 5.
I'm gonna give you what I think is going to be the winning score. I'm going to go -12.
-12. So you're going to 12 under to win.
Yeah. I think it's going to play tougher because it's so dry and it's going to be really fast. I think putting's going to be really, really difficult. Really difficult. All right, so your boy DeChambeau is who you got, huh? All right, A-Ron. We could put something else on, like for the winner. We could put $1 or $2 in if you want.
We'll figure out the tiering of this for what the winner gets from the other two.
So if I win, can I call in on Monday and brag since I'm off on Monday?
Absolutely.
And if I lose, can you guys call me and say, where's my damn lunch?
Be like, yeah, you're going to need to DoorDash us some breakfast now. So.
Exactly. All right, 505-246-0610. Who do you like? Master starts tomorrow. You can call in and let us know. Hey, who is a candidate for LASIK over at Coleman Vision with Dr. Stephen Coleman? Well, any of us, doctors, lawyers, housewives, kids, firefighters, athletes, police officers, nurses, figure it out. Any of us, if you go into Coleman Vision on any given day, you'll see people from all walks of life who want to have a better life, who want to see better. I was one of those people. And I'm telling you, it changed my life. And when you talk about things that change your life, there's not a lot of things that happen. But what Dr. Stephen Coleman did at Coleman Vision for me in 2003 changed my life. I was tired of lenses, and at that point I was anchoring the news early morning and dealing with contacts and my makeup and everything. I just hated it. And I went in, I got diagnosed with astigmatism, had the surgery at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, opened my eyes, immediately saw the difference and anchored the news the next day at 5 a.m. with no lenses and haven't worn them since. Stephen Coleman is the best. That's why people come from all over the country to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dr. Coleman, who has become a good friend, and everybody over there has become family to me, he's in on developing and testing the current technology, which is used all over the country, all over the world. And it's developed and originated at Sandia Labs in New Mexico. If you are thinking about LASIK, if you are thinking that you would like to be done with lenses, with glasses, go to the best. This is your eyes, man. Go to the best, and that is Dr. Stephen Coleman at Coleman Vision. Give them a call at 505-821-8880. That's 821-8880. Visit ColemanVision.com, and they'll let you know if you're a candidate. Changed my life, and I think it can change yours. It's Coleman Vision. Seeing is believing, and I sure as heck believe.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus.
He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Wide open, Jaden Phillips. Oh, he shattered him like dirty laundry into a hamper.
That was a Derrick Henry style stiff
Motion, there's Winnikoff. Lane, it looks like Winnikoff's wide open over here, but he's threatened on the play. That was Jaden Brown, and he's going to have to just chuck this one up, and that's a touchdown! Wow! I can't believe he was in position for that play.
So, things are looking good. They'll want to avoid Webskowski on the kick, but it gets to the 10. Or I beg your pardon. Now across the 50. That's going to be an opening house call. He's going all the way, and he's going to go untouched. 90 yards for Lujan, and that is a nightmare start for Clovis.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Mean Machine said, did anyone take Brooks Koepka? No, nobody took Brooks Koepka. He's coming off that knee injury. I mean, he's out there, but you just don't know. Colin Morikawa, nope. And I was going to take Colin Morikawa. He was with Reed and a couple of the guys. Nobody took Reed. Mick Fleetwood. He said, I'll take Victor Hovland. Hovland was another guy that I had on my list that I really like a lot. But nope, nobody took any of those guys. Ken says the thing I miss the most is seeing golfers making sure they pack their dark unis, knowing, Jeff, that if they got paired with the 15-time major circus, especially at Augusta, it was going to be a road game. Yep. All right, it's fun. I just went over to the DraftKings to try to put a team together. It's hard, man. There's a lot of dudes I like. 505-246-0610. Hello, Rudolph. How you living?
I'm doing pretty good today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day.
Yes, it is.
Gonna head down south this Friday and see if there's any water in Elephant Butte Reservoir. I'll let you know Monday.
All right, there might be a little.
'Tis the season for boating.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, so Ryan Odom is the new coach at Utah State, and Mark Adams is the new coach at Texas Tech.
Okay, I didn't hear the Ryan Odom hire, I guess.
Yeah, that's the guy from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
UMBC. He's the
UMBC.
son of Dave Odom. Remember that name?
I do remember that name. Yeah, a long time at Wake Forest. Is that correct?
Correct. So, those sound like good hires. Tim Miles, let's see what he can do at San Jose State.
I think it's a great hire for them. I think that's as good as they could have done.
It sounds to me like he wants out of New Mexico State. Do I read that right?
Why does it sound that way to you? Other than, progression means he's going to go get paid somewhere. Why does it sound that way to you?
I don't know. Just from what I hear, I'm not as interested in New Mexico State in keeping up on everything that's going on. but I guess he can get paid more. So, there comes a point in time where you go, hey, I paid my dues and I'd like more money.
Yeah, I just wonder. So here's my deal with that, Rudy. I think everybody wants to get paid more. That's why Paul came from New Mexico State to New Mexico. But is it worth going to UTEP to get the 730, 750, or do you think there's a bigger payday for Jans if he, somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm not his agent, so I don't know who he's talking to out there besides UTEP, or if he wants to move to another part of the country. Or he's okay at New Mexico State. I haven't heard anything coming out affirmatively that he's okay with New Mexico State. But Steve Alford said you don't mess with Happy, and then 3 days later takes the job at UCLA. So
that's right.
It doesn't. You don't know what happens until it happens. I mean, just for New Mexico State's sake, and I still don't understand why they were tossed out of Conference USA. They need Jans to stay.
Sunbelt. They were never in Conference USA. Sunbelt.
Oh, Sunbelt. That's right. They've never been in Conference USA. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Don't even understand the Sunbelt thing. I mean, they need to get in a conference.
Well, I mean, basketball-wise, they're going to be in an okay place. With all these schools that are coming in, with Tarleton and Abilene Christian, who's going.
Yeah, but football is. You and I know, and we've discussed this until the cows come home. You got to make football something else than it is at New Mexico State right now. It can't just be a throwaway sport.
Yep, I agree with you. I totally agree with that.
And they got to have a conference affiliation, otherwise it makes them appear to be a throwaway sport. And you do that to college football, and I don't know. I was having a conversation with people about what the future of college athletics in New Mexico is if we don't start getting people to come to games. So that's why it was so gratifying to see 5,000 people at the Cherry Silver game. If that translates into home fans and we stay at our 25%, 10,000 won't be a problem. But I'd like to see that restriction lifted and have people go to the game this fall so we could put 30,000 in the seats, because I think UNM could.
Yeah, I think they have and they could. It's just going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute.
Yep. Hey, appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you. All right, so all the coaching vacancies, or all the coaching positions, are filled in the Mountain West, right?
Yeah, I totally forgot about the Ryan Odom move. I think that was over the weekend. I think that's a solid hire for Utah State. So you're going after UMBC, of course, head coach that had the 16-1 upset when UMBC beat Virginia in NCAA tournament. So he's taking his step up the ladder. And this was, I think, the right move for Craig Smith to take the Utah job when it opened. I think that was a good hire for them. And a challenge now because you're going to take a job that Neemias Queta isn't there. And they got to do a little rebuilding.
Yeah, quite a bit of rebuilding. All right. I got a few emails that I want to get to. 505-246-0610 is where we are. 888-922-0610. Masters tomorrow morning, baseball tonight. This one came in from Sid. Sid heard Sid's not happy, dude. What about winning, Sid says. I heard, he says, the Duke Honcho was on with Bob this morning over on News Radio. He said he talked about fireworks shows. He talked about the new name of the sports stadium. He talked about promotions. He never once mentioned winning games. After 3 years away, there was nothing in that conversation that made Sid want to jump back on the bandwagon. Sid's not coming back, dude. Sid needs to become a Major League Baseball fan, not a minor league baseball fan if he's worried about winning. Do you think, now for a guy like Sid, right, it's so totally different. Because New Mexico United controls their roster 100%, and they can try to build and win. Albuquerque Isotopes do not control their roster 100%, and so they can't sit here and talk about winning. Do you think the fact that United sits here and talks about winning and makes the playoffs in their first 2 years, and Isotopes can't talk about winning, and by the way they don't, hurts them at all?
No, they're two different things.
Because I think they are.
Minor league baseball has a long track record that not necessarily all about the wins. It's nice if you have them, but you're established in these communities for being minor league teams that do fun things, that have firework nights and hot dog races,
goofy mascots,
the taco races, etc. Like that's minor league baseball. In this case, we have something that we've never had before. There's never been a professional soccer team of this level in this market that is competing on this stage. And so, yes, it's entirely different.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Scorpions who tried to win and did win at a pretty good clip. And again, when you can control your roster, you can have that narrative and you can go out and try to do things. The Isotopes do not have that luxury. Their roster is controlled by the big club, who's worried about the big club, and that's really what it comes down to. And so, Jack says biggest turnaround of this college basketball season was Jerry Palm's phone. Instead of those AT&T commercials we saw every 5 seconds during the NCAA tournament, they should have had Jerry as the pitch man.
1 minute.
It was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Thank you to Jerry Palm for being with us today. On a Wednesday. See, it feels like Thursday to you, does it? But it was on a Wednesday that Jerry Palm was with us. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will be after that. Michael and Mike, Trulio and Carlisle will be here with the Sports Bar. That starts at 4, and we'll be back with more award-winning radio for you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Aaron, good to have you on our program today. DeChambeau, Rom, M. You went all, except for DeChambeau, all foreign. Bob, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for getting us through this again. JJ, enjoy your day.
Have a day, y'all.
All right. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.